And we are live.
Heyo!
I'm your co-host, Marky Mark, with Divided People. To my left, we have...
Lance, what's up?
In front of us, we have...
Josh, it's me again. This is my second ever podcast.
You just couldn't stay away.
Couldn't do it.
I'm kind of over here to the side, guys. What's up?
And do you want to say your anime name or your real name?
Yeah. What name do you
You have
want
an
to go
anime name? I want to know.
Do I? No, just Joseph
Chicky
here,
hentai.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chicky hentai.
Chicky Chicky Hentai.
Actually, from here on out,
you will only refer to me as such.
Chicky hentai. And nothing else.
If your name's not that by the end of this podcast on Facebook, we'll be disappointed.
The last guy said, "Oh, we named him Bam Bam."
Yeah.
Bam, bam.
Go ahead.
This could be where I get my start. Chicky hentai.
Ooh, Lance, you don't know this. I brought some chocolate cheese.
What the fuck is chocolate cheese?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's currently in the freezer
'Cause it
because
melted.
it melted.
Good luck.
We had really bad luck with the freezer.
Yeah, last time he bought some alcohol and he left it in the freezer.
I
And
just wanted to get it cold real quick, and I forgot to set a timer. And we heard a big boom, like we're like, "What is that?" Oh, I guess it was nothing. And then we go look later.
Alcohol isn't supposed to do that.
It was
Alcohol
wine.
is
No,
supposed
it
to.
does
Wine.
that.
Wine. Huh.
Yeah, wine will do that.
It has
Well,
to
not
have,
like
it has to
tequila
have a
and stuff.
high enough
Tequila,
alcohol
yeah.
content. to
Not the
where-
tequila.
so we are here to talk about guns because Josh over here messaged me and I was like, why? It was weird because I was like, why did he want to message randomly about guns? And then I saw a post
Yeah,
that kind of got out of hand.
Little bit.
Like,
It
to
wasn't.
100
It wasn't on my part
No,
though.
it
It was just
wasn't.
other people like.
Well, it's just
going
one
crazy.
particular person.
Did I
Mainly
miss this?
one
Is
person.
this where the one person was saying a lot of things? Or-
Yeah,
Oh,
talking about
gee.
how like every police
Okay.
officer is like a piece of shit.
Oh, that
you know.
one!
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah,
read
all
that.
of that,
I
man.
did.
That's just kind of a lot.
Yeah, I didn't even want to hop in on that because
I wanted to at first, and then the more I read, I'm like, oh, this is going like crazy meter, like crazy.
what good would it have done if you expressed
Nothing, because she
yeah.
was not.
No.
Someone would lay down facts, and she did. I will say something. She says something that kind of like I was like, wait a minute, and no one addressed. And it was about a certain person being a pedophile. And I was like,
Yeah, that I heard
everyone
that
passed
too.
that,
I'm
and
like,
I was just like, why are we passing this up? Like,
So she was just a troll?
no,
No.
no,
Sounds like you're a
she.
troll.
The thing is, I'm totally fine with somebody actually coming, with like facts and with statistics and being like, hey, like this is happening and like this is an actual problem and all that stuff. But like, she was just I don't know, not really
She
coming
wasn't
with
in the
any of
Are we
business.
gonna
that.
get into the details of what was said, or
It was okay. So the main point that I ended up making after that entire post went south was that if you are a criminal or someone that is going to actively oppose what the police are trying to do as far as like enforcing the law and all that, then you're not going to have a good outlook on police in general. So the
I
thing
used
is
to tell people that. I'm like, so your argument against police is you don't like the fact that they don't let you do whatever you want?
yeah, that's the
And then-
thing. And
but
it's
there was
like,
keywords during that conversation that I was like, oh wow, there's no getting to you. Because when someone goes, they're part of the patriarchy. I'm like, oh, there's no getting through to you. Okay.
Right, yeah.
The-
Like there
like,
are
there was-
certain like
there was
bingo
keywords.
words.
It's like, wait, let me finish that for you. I'll pull the list for you.
Yeah, like, there was
they're part of
keywords,
the
Patriarchy,
they're
straight
racist.
white male,
Yeah.
racism, yeah.
Yeah, well, because like someone said something, she's like, you're a straight white male, you won't understand. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I like
and
when
one of
they
your
say
pictures, you were spitting up and eating your snot, but no one's saying anything.
Right.
I like when they say that, and like they say like NOPD, and NOPD is mostly black officers.
yeah.
That's like, really? Same thing for like
Well,
Chicago. Chicago's
the
like
issue
a lot of
was
black
she was
officers.
like,
Right.
Well,
because
all the cops are
it was-
white, and
it was over a cop that passed, correct? The post that you shared, or a cop?
Is that
they're during the Mandeville.
Yeah.
Is that the sick
yeah.
one? The one? Oh no, the one in Mandeville. There was another one that died.
Yeah, just
He
recently.
yeah,
got
Yeah.
shot in
man.
the back. Yeah, he's sick.
Was
He's,
that Texas?
I don't- Sheik. I don't
Yeah,
know how to say it.
Sikh.
Yeah, he's so they're. It's not. People think it's Muslim. It's not Muslim.
Yeah, it's different.
But yeah, he got shot in the back. That was messed up. And then people started posting videos they had of him.
Yeah.
it was
And
crazy.
so-
Now I didn't see a video. I only
No,
saw
no,
like
this
the
was
memorial.
videos of him. People like who had met him in person and stuff had videos and they
Right,
submitted them and
okay.
stuff. Just him interacting with the community and stuff.
But like, so the people in Mandeville got shot, and she said, "Good."
Yeah, and that's all it
Yeah.
was. But the thing is that like that just kind of like sparked something.
But when I saw that, like, I try to, from this podcast, I learned to react different than anger. Because when I saw that, I was like, what happened to you?
Right. Yeah.
That was the first thing I thought. I was like, what happened to you to make you say something like that? Because no one's in their right, like, if someone dies, no one's gonna be like,
yeah, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad
good.
that person's dead. Yeah, unless that person was a part of
unless you were,
some
like,
other
if you
thing.
knew
And
that
even
person was a
even
murderer
then,
in the
like
past.
even then, like to post it publicly is still like
Right.
that's a bit extreme. And she didn't know, and you can tell she was nowhere near that incident.
Right.
So the fact that and then she was like, all cops this should happen to all cops. And then that one thing when she said, if I had a dollar every time someone called me a dirty hippie, I would use it to buy a gun and kill the cops or something shit like that. I was
Holy
like,
crap.
yeah, like she went off.
I didn't even read that far because I saw the thing about good, and that's when I signed out. I was like, I'm not even.
If she said, I'm not sure. I think that actually qualifies as a crime.
I mean, you could. I think maybe you could loop it in there,
That's
but
not what we're here for.
No, I'm just
But,
saying.
you
I'm just
know.
saying. Technically, it's probably borderline.
Yeah, it's definitely something
She
that should
says,
be on
like,
file.
again-
I think.
I'm not quoting her, but you saw it. She said something
Yeah.
along those lines.
Yeah.
Pretty close to it. But from that post, I was guessing that's why Josh wanted to come on. Is that correct? Or was there something else going on?
I mean that's basically it.
That was part
Because
of it.
like just it in general, like over the last couple of years, like our entire view like on police officers
Have shit.
has just been absolutely horrible. And I get it because it's kind of like, making fun of the principal in the school because, the principal's like, hey, no running, like, hey, don't wear,
Yeah, you're the man.
you can't wear hats
I
or,
have to
like,
resist
you gotta
or, like-
stick it to the man.
yeah, but or like in our school system, like we have to have those IDs. So it's always like, hey, where's your ID? You need this. And it's always just like, man, why are you hassling me? But there's a reason behind all of those things that like none of us really thought about at the
Well,
time.
they also don't even expect 100% compliance.
right.
But if they don't push it, then they're gonna get less than 50% compliance.
Yeah.
Right.
But
But the thing is, it's all like all of those things are enforced like to work
That's like
towards
speeding.
a certain
you think
goal.
there's a cop that doesn't know that people speed? I mean, of course. they
Right.
fucking-
And there are cops that go 5 over at
Yeah.
all times.
So
Like-
that's what I'm saying. It's all about. Can you get pulled over? Sure.
And the thing is,
does
I-
it suck when you're the one who gets it? Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
it sucks.
yeah. And I recently got pulled over, and it was like almost immediately after I was talking to somebody on Facebook about like, he had shared one of those posts about how the police officers now have the cruisers that like. The logo on the side of the car is like almost hidden, to where it all just looks white except from at a certain angle. And it was that whole thing of like,
State
police
troopers are
are
riding around in
like entrapment.
blacked out Chargers.
yeah, and it's just like, oh, well, they're just after our tax dollars. They're not really trying to help, and it's like, I get that because I viewed it the same way.
I'll tell you the entrapment argument. I hate that argument. So I'm like, because you don't even understand what entrapment is.
Right. But the thing is, it's like,
that's
But it's the
not
easiest
entrapment.
they're
thing to
not
say
just.
when you're rolling up and you get stopped. Oh, he was hiding behind this.
There's no
I
rule.
couldn't even see him.
There's no
But
rule
that's
on
the
this
thing.
planet
That's
that
the
says you can't
point,
hide.
though, because if you know that there's a police officer and a cruiser up there, you're gonna slow down
Yeah, that's called
until you're
deterrence.
past that.
You know my biggest pet peeve? And
You know what really grinds my gears?
you, America.
That's copyright. We can't say
To
that.
you.
Sorry.
Oh shit. Well,
No, let's say, you know what grinds my gears? Is motherfuckers on Facebook that post where cops are.
Yeah, I see a lot of
Because,
that.
and my main concern is you possibly informed one or two people what my concern is. Drunk driver,
Right. Yeah.
or someone like a drug dealer or something's going wrong.
Yeah,
For sure.
I've
Could
made
go
that.
wrong.
I've made that
Heroin.
comment.
Yeah,
before.
100%.
I'm like, yeah, but now what if you just warn that guy who's drunk on his way home and he's gonna hit a van and you're
Yeah,
responsible
he's gonna
for
take
that?
that
and it just so
alternate
happens
route.
that my
Yeah.
aunt is in that van or something,
It's just that's what makes me. I'm like, why are y'all giving notice to these people?
Right.
Like,
And the thing is, like, I get it that you want to like look out for your friends,
but
that's the
I
wrong
understand that
message.
too. But at
you
the same
should-
time, I mean, come on, dude. Like, it's a ticket.
yeah, like
You-
you should be
you're
telling
gonna
your
get a ticket if you
friends
do
like,
something.
hey, don't drink and drive, not hey, I know you're drinking and driving, but avoid this police
Right.
officer.
You know,
that's
you know
over
what the
here.
big difference is though. When you get to a certain age, like when you start like truly start acting like adult or becoming more adult, And people, I didn't get that when I was young. When people said that, I'm like, that just means you're old. No, I didn't understand what it actually meant. It just meant actually that you're invested in things in society.
Right,
That you
yeah.
actually give a shit about those things.
Yeah, and the
And when
place
you're
that
young, you are
at-
not invested in anything. You could pack up, leave, and it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
like, and that's why you don't care.
Right.
So, because like I was having a talk with my wife the other day. Some people were at my house and they were all outside drinking and playing music like loud, and I was like, no. And she's like, why? And I'm like, because it's rude to everybody else in the neighborhood.
Just
Well,
like a
you're
little
old.
neighborhood kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I'm like, I wouldn't want them doing it, and I don't want us doing it.
Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah.
be that house. And I'm like, and I didn't. I'm thinking back when I was a kid, and I was like, man, we raged outside. Like, we outside fucking blaring. Like, wow,
Right.
we were assholes.
But you didn't care. You weren't invested. in
Exactly.
anything.
I was like, man,
you weren't
fuck y'all.
invested
Y'all are
in your
just trying to ruin
community.
my fun.
Yeah,
That's all you
yeah.
care about. It's like, no, I don't give a shit about your fun. Take your fun somewhere else.
Take your fun in
Was
your,
that off topic?
in your car.
No, I'm just watching the screen.
Oh. Is it interesting?
No, because every time you hit that, it jumps up.
Cool.
So
Anyway,
it's
Swish
kinda-
Army Knife. Is
Okay,
that
well,
one of the ones that has
I
like a
thought
tube?
audio
Yes.
is responsive.
And
It's old
Nice.
school. I found
Heck
it.
yeah.
it was like a
I'm not
one of those
using the
Metro
dick pic.
meters.
Yeah. Yeah, I had
So-
those at one time.
How do you feel about guns, Josh?
Now as far as guns, like,
Did she say something about guns? I didn't hear that.
I think it was
I don't-
generalized about.
Because she
Guns.
made her way to it,
She was talking about shooting cops, so I
but
mean,
she
she clearly
flipped-
doesn't have a problem with those.
It flipped back
No,
and
guns
forth
are good,
because every
apparently.
time a particular guy commented, she went back to that pedophile thing.
What?
Like, I know what you do. Don't make me put you on blast. And so, like, from there, like, you go back and look at it.
yeah,
it's
I'm
like,
gonna
and
have to.
apparently, like, she had like gone to his Facebook or something, and she saw like old photos of like him and some girl, and she assumed that like she was young or something like that.
I don't know. It was-
So this is all based on an assumption.
I don't know. I saw that and like no one asked the question, and I'm like, I'm gonna just keep rolling.
Well, that's pretty common to people that troll on the internet.
Definitely.
They
but she
wanna-
wasn't. That's the
yeah.
thing. I don't think she was
They
there
want
to
to
troll.
blanket. I mean, how many people blanket statement and say like, "Well, that's because you're a racist." I read
Right,
that
right,
thing you
yeah.
said before. You're a racist.
something that you just can't
I'm like really based
otherwise
off of
prove.
what?
Right.
She
And
really,
that's another
she
thing.
really just wanted to like. She didn't want to mess with somebody. I think she just really wanted to spread the hate.
Right.
I feel like some people they're so biased in their own way that they can't see past their own.
Absolutely.
I think I'm gonna start like I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a Facebook page with my wife on there, and I'm gonna say all the stuff I want to say through her face because she's Spanish. I'm like, and a woman. I'm like, she can get away with it.
Well, that's the thing. There was women commenting back on her, and she was like, it was funny. 'cause
Yeah,
she's
but then
like,
they tell them you're stupid, like
wait,
you're just ignorant
she
and
was.
brainwashed.
She said
and-
once, she's like, "You're a white female." I'm like, "But you are too."
Right. Yeah. So your
Like-
opinion. Is,
Like it is like on your. Well, before you say that,
Based on your
her,
standards.
yeah, on her standards, her opinion is the same.
So you're telling us we should, so you're telling us we all should ignore you too.
Listen, I didn't do particularly well in math, but that just doesn't add up.
It usually doesn't.
But then she did say stuff about guns too, which kind of because she wanted to talk about getting rid of cops. That's what the route she was trying to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then she didn't. She wasn't a fan of guns, so I was like, okay, so everyone's just.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just have total anarchy. That's. But the thing is, okay. The thing is, even if we all decided to just eradicate cops, and we're no longer gonna have like an organized, kind of system for
From
that,
Chicago.
we're still going to eventually have it. Eventually, like some people
Yeah.
are going to get together
Yeah, it's
in that
naturally
community,
going to occur.
and then we're going to be like, hey, some people like we need to have like people patrol, and we need to make sure
Like
people
all
are doing things the right way
community
All I'm
police.
because we
saying
have
is-
rules here.
Chicago can't be as bad as Gotham because they got Batman for a certain reason. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Chicago needs Batman.
If
Chicago
any-
needs more than Batman.
If anyone needs Batman,
They need
it's
the
Chicago.
fucking Justice League. Justice League pull up and be like, holy
Which
fuck.
is funny because we're still on the topic because of the fact that you actually got to go looking for Chicago news, and like half the time
Like,
they,
that's like New Orleans.
but like they have more murders there than they do like school shootings from guns.
Can I plug this in without messing things up?
I don't know.
Okay, let's try it.
Oh shit, it fucked up. No, I'm just kidding.
We lost audio. We lost audio to
So-
the podcast now.
So yeah, you're right. They do. The number of shootings there like far surpasses like all school shootings for the past like decade or something. I forgot the statistics, but I think this year, in like 1 year, they've surpassed like the school shootings for a decade. Or
It's
something.
it got bad over there. That one particular week was like more than that mall massacre that happened the same
that
weekend.
they want to ignore it. They want to ignore it, and it's the same thing with like the climate stuff. I'm like, I'm not saying climate change doesn't exist. I'm just saying maybe y'all are twisting it into a convenient thing for y'all. I'm like, why are y'all ignoring China?
Every 10 years you have to, it's alarmism is really what it is,
Well, it plays.
And I get it because
anything
take
to push
action.
your agenda.
Take action for sure, but
Again,
the world
though,
ending.
I've seen one plan for this, and that plan was like eradicating everything, and it was kind of like,
Yeah.
can't do that.
Well,
Okay, well, that one's out.
I like the
immediately.
statement when they're like, okay, so what is your idea? We all fossil fuels, all this. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So
How are you gonna do
yeah,
it?
no. Whenever they say that, I just okay.
Play along.
Put your cell phone down. Walk home. Get rid of all of your stuff because anything made out of plastic or anything else. I mean, a lot of the food you
Look,
eat.
take your car, drive it into a fucking ditch and leave
Yeah,
it.
like live it. Show me how to live that way. And it's like, yeah, okay. So what you really want is everybody else to fix it for you. You don't actually want responsibility.
Yeah.
You don't have to participate.
Because you're
Same
going
thing
to
with guns.
actively have to change the way that you live.
Same thing with guns. It's like if there were shooting, you could do something about it. You could be a responsible gun owner. You could carry, and you could intervene in those situations,
Right.
and try and be a hero. You could, but you don't want to.
Right, yeah.
You'd rather say, in fact, all of y'all shouldn't have guns too, even though the stupid part. I mean, it's the same thing because with the climate stuff, they're like, oh no, everybody in America needs to stop living this way. Yeah, but what about
Right.
China?
Yeah.
Like,
And the thing is,
you can't stop China from doing it.
Yeah, like if someone doesn't want to carry, then they want to leave it in the hands of a police officer to make that hard decision to actually end someone else's life that's causing,
Which almost every cop will tell you, police officers. I was a cop for 10 years. We were reactive. That's what
Right.
we're not.
Yeah.
We can't,
And you have to
It's,
be.
it's impossibly proactive. There's not enough of them. And so, what are you? You're a reactive force. You're showing up, and you're going to show up 10,
Yeah.
20 minutes after it's already started. If anybody could even make the phone call.
That's how it works. I mean, how else is it going to operate, really?
Exactly. Well, that's when people are like,
That is
okay,
a
we need.
policing system.
Yeah, and then people are like, okay, well, what are our danger points? Schools. Okay, everybody maybe. So, okay, let's put somebody in a school to make it safe. Oh, no, a gun in a school. I'm like, you just said you wanted cops to be the only ones with guns. Okay, let's put one in a school.
somebody's got to be able to enforce that because even if you set up all the the different things that could stop a gun from entering
So-
a school, someone still has to enforce
my thing
that.
about that for the schools, as of right now, I'd rather cops at schools. But truth be told, I'd rather have a trained teacher with the gun. So
I agree.
So we could put the cops somewhere else.
They had schools that said, I forgot what state it was, but they said if the teachers wanted to be trained and armed, they would allow it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm all for it.
Why
Well,
not?
Now the only problem, there was an argument, and this
Teacher
is
get
true.
out, yeah.
Teacher getting out of hand with a student or something
Correct.
like that. gun
Something
getting involved.
happening.
But
Right.
that's life.
But that's when people were like, okay,
That's
well, it needs to be.
extremism.
Well, that's when people
no,
are saying.
and I'm saying that's life. Like you go to jail for life. And if you are threatened the student with that, attempt to pull it out, no, you're
Like you
that's
shouldn't.
done.
It shouldn't
Yeah.
even be like on their hip, maybe like
No,
maybe
maybe-
just in a lockbox or something in the room.
and the students shouldn't know who has it too. Like let's be real about that.
Yeah.
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 Like Dave
yeah.
Chappelle.
There's no real need for that.
Because
No.
whenever you
My
know who
teacher's
has
bagging.
a weapon,
Yeah.
then that person becomes a target. That's
Well, that's the thing.
exactly
I feel
why
like if-
I've never open carried. I don't like that.
I think if the teacher says that, I think they should be removed because then you become a target.
Right.
You made your class not unsafe because I thought about this before the special, but when Dave Chappelle had the special, it was like motherfuckers, y'all are training the shooter where to go,
Right.
which is true.
Yeah.
It's funny. We did a active school shooter scenario. Like we had simunition guns. Like they changed they gave us a simunition gun. It's a a Glock with it's got a blue like barrel on it.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
it shoots paint rounds and stuff.
Wow.
When we did it, it was fun. It was a lot of fun because we had a dude set up like a sniper inside the school. And
The
he was
school
perched up
shooting
there popping
scenario was
everything.
really fun.
No, it was. The kids actually enjoyed it too. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
yeah.
let them volunteer for it. They notified the whole neighborhood. They cordoned off the area and stuff like that. And they didn't tell us the scenario. They gave us numbers and said when you hear this over the radio, you just react. Go.
Yeah.
So
You have to
we're
figure
showing
it
up.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because first of all, some people were just a clusterfuck. You see fucking belts, radios flying everywhere. People trying to run in the building. You're trying to like barricade. You go to doors and you be like bust through the door and they're like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, and you're dead. They're like, why? They're like, look, they booby trapped the door. You're like, fuck. And then but it was funny because my lieutenant, who's an idiot. We're all outside, like dealing with like, okay,
Say the name where
everybody
he
comes
doesn't
out.
exist.
Who?
Say the name where he doesn't exist.
Honestly, I really don't remember his name.
Oh, yeah.
What was it? What? If I think
Just-
about, I'll
just
remember
Lieutenant
it.
Mackey.
I'll
Just
remember it.
Lieutenant.
I'll
Let's call him
remember it.
Lieutenant Bucky.
I think he got
Feels like a
demoted at
fuck-up
that time. I
name.
think he was a sergeant at that time. I think he got demoted from lieutenant. But he's he's a dummy. They had one person acting like they were like injured or something like that, so he runs over there. I'm a hero. I'm gonna carry them to the safe zone. And we're all talking. We're like, what did they say the description of the person was? And they were like, eh. I'm like, isn't that the one that they just carried to safety?
Oh my god.
And we're like, yeah, let's go over there. We go over there and we're like, yeah, all of y'all sit down and or nobody move. We're just like, all of y'all. And then we like, can we get a reconfirmation on that description? And sure as hell, that was one of the shooters was the person that they carried out.
Oh my
and
God.
that was supposed to be part of the training. Like everybody coming out of the building, you have to suspect
Which is
that they're
true.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, teachers and everybody, they're all could be part of it because they may shoot the place up, throw the stuff down, take their clothes off. They might be a student there. They'll run out. Oh my god, I was so scared.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they could be wearing a mask or whatever. So you have to treat it like everybody was involved.
Right.
But it was fun for, you know, not for that, but just for the experience of, you know, you get the adrenaline of all that. Plus we did like the negotiations with the shooter and all that. So, you know, it had its moments, but
So you look forward for a real shooting, what he's saying.
no.
Could not be.
Actually, one of the things that we said is what you just said. The only problem with this is we are literally training a shooter. We're training a school shooter. We're telling him where the weaknesses in this are.
Right.
You know, how should you react? What should you do after you do this? Because, I mean, it's the truth. You could. If they want to get away with it, there's a way to get away with it. I'm
And maybe
surprised.
maybe they're teaching. Well, you would know because you were a cop. But I feel like teachers should undergo a different type of training for the active shooter part, like what to be wary of and stuff like that.
I think school design is a big part of it. A lot of people started coming out with the methods of barricading the rooms and stuff. That is a good idea. I also think that there should be a method of egress from each of the classrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Schools are designed in a terrible way where there's not a lot of ways out.
Yeah.
And it's usually meant to be kind of a maze-like. Well, if you're a student there, you're going to know all that way. And like, if I run into a school that I've never been to, guess what? I'm lost. He's not. So, I don't know. I think they should all have exit methods, and I think they should have a way to barricade the door. That's just me. But as far as guns go, yes, somebody should have a gun in school. Somebody has to be able to react to the situation.
Right.
But another thing about it is just the we didn't have all this. Like, this didn't exist until what? I mean, there was some stuff before Columbine, but I think Columbine was one of the big ones.
Yeah, that was like a huge turning point.
Sandy Hook was a hoax, apparently.
I've heard a lot of that.
I'm
The
joking.
thing, I,
Yeah,
I'm
please.
so joking.
Dude.
see, but I'm not joking. I have
it's
heard.
because
Yeah,
a
you
lot.
had, but there was somebody who propagated that, and he was wrong. Very, very wrong.
I don't know because I wasn't there,
Well,
so I
he
can't
also-
say anything. I don't
Because
know.
of what he said, a lot of the parents got like
Yeah.
calls from like
There
conspiracy-
was people
man.
getting threats. There were people getting threats saying that they were just propagating a conspiracy and
got
stuff,
some
and they're like,
chicken
"My
nuggets?"
child is dead." Like,
Yeah, and they're like,
you
sure
don't,
it
you don't
is.
touch that.
Thank you.
Like, that's not for you to say. So that was pretty heinous.
Yeah, I think that was
Oh my God.
that was the first time I'd been introduced to the whole paid actor
Theory.
Yeah.
Funny, my wife's friend, well, not friend, coworker that used to work at CC's, she quit and became a paid.
Whatever.
Yeah, she got paid like $11.50
Political actor.
Yeah.
to go to stuff protests and stuff like that.
Yeah, that totally is a real thing. That is not. There's no doubt on
So
that.
my question is,
Not saying for those, but
my
what
big
they do is they come out and
concern-
react big. Is what
how
they do.
do I fill out an application for that?
That's
And
what I was wondering.
What
I
is the
think they-
yearly earnings?
Well, I think
yeah.
first of all they look for people that are already pretty extreme with those ideas.
Well, shit.
I think if you dye your hair green,
I shit post on Facebook.
Pretty
that's
much,
it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna take somebody who's like, man, I love guns and I'm straight about this, and they're like, yeah, come be anti-gun for us.
Well, let us review your profile and
Yeah, exactly.
we'll get back to you.
They're gonna dig deep on you.
Listen, we've got an active shooter
Am I?
situation
So
happening
I'm
at
not the only
Sandy Hook.
person that does that. I'm not weird.
No, dude. That's
Okay.
that's the only way to do it. That's
Just
the way.
wanted- I was doing it, and I was like, man, maybe they're gonna think I'm weird for doing it.
If I,
Take
if
the
I have
sauce
a
top
bag,
off,
I stick it to
the
the side of
cardboard.
the bag before, you know. Yeah. But damn, these nugs are good though.
Yeah, sorry guys, we're nugging it
Yeah,
out here.
as far as guns go, and even in a school situation, I really think that any place that you have a mass amount of people, whether it be like a concert or like a a big like meeting or something like that, or like a school specifically, I think that they should have certain parameters that are in place to
Well,
keep guns from coming in.
here's my question, and
Like, i.e. metal detectors. I mean, that's
Listen,
a huge
we
thing.
only have about 10 more years before no guns are entering any fucking building, right?
Right.
Technology.
Well,
Technology
it's like that.
You're
far
optimistic.
exceed- Okay,
If you go
I
to a
am
courtroom,
optimistic, but
If
I'm
you go
giving
to a
it
courtroom,
less than that.
they have that. If you go to an airport, they have that.
you go to concerts, they have that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some concerts.
A lot of y'all are too young to remember, but you used to go to the airport and you used to be able to walk your family straight to the tarmac area. Like, they didn't have all that security.
Yeah, Daniel
You got
Tosh
your
has a
ticket
joke
in.
about it.
No,
You
I don't.
You
I
got
don't
your ticket
remember
and
that.
you went over there and
No,
said
but-
goodbye, and they got on the
Well,
plane.
you ever heard Daniel Tosh joke about that?
Oh yeah.
I haven't.
I
He
used to love
explains
the
it.
show.
Yeah, he's like, since 9/11, before 9/11, I used to have to bring my girlfriend to the airport, park the car, walk her to the turbine. He's like, now, I don't have to worry about getting up early or nothing. I just drop her off at the shuttle and leave. He's like, if you ask me, I think it was worth a tower.
Oh my god.
And everyone was like, oh, he's like, just one. I didn't say both.
He didn't say the people inside. He just said the building.
Well, no, and then he acts like somebody else. He's like, well, which tower? He's like, does it matter? It matters to my dad. I was like, damn, what the fuck?
That is messed up.
God.
That's Daniel Tosh, though.
Yeah, that was what that guy got in trouble for, is because he posted a Tosh 2.0 quote thing. That guy gave all that money to the like sick children, and that dude tried to out him like for a
Daniel
comment.
Tosh quote.
He posted a Daniel Tosh quote like when he was 16 years old.
Oh man. So he went back.
And the dude like went back through all his social media and was like, "This guy's a bigoted racist for something he put 16 years ago. That was a quote from a comedian that was perfectly acceptable at the time."
Man.
And and he's like, "Really? Like, I'm trying to give like $1 million to sick children." Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It's weird how comedy has changed like that.
I accidentally threw my my little shaky thing out of my cup. I just opened it and I chunked everything out into the
And
grass.
go look for it. The guy's like,
You
"Shit."
better be careful because that alligator will get it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know you just fed the alligator.
Yeah, he's gonna be in your backyard.
Don't give him no bang. He'll be
You
going
fed
off
him
about that.
protein.
Poor man. So, obviously you're pro-gun.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's in terms of like Constitution. I'm not saying that well, we should have guns because the Constitution says so. I'm a big supporter of the fact that I don't think that was an opinion, or I don't think that was a suggestion as far as the Constitution goes. I think that everyone does have the right, just as an individual,
Well,
to protect themselves
that's-
with everything
That's
that
one
is
of the
available
big,
to other people.
That's one of the big misunderstandings about the rights is everybody thinks, oh, the Bill of Rights is a document where people gave us the right. No.
Yeah,
It
people don't
says it-
give you that.
It says it in the document. These are rights you were born with, and they're inalienable. In order for you to have liberty, these rights are required.
Right.
And they're like, oh no, we can just erase that. No, you can't. Like, as soon as you do that, you might as well negate the rest of the whole document.
So, in that aspect, Josh, what would you do about these shootings that are going on?
The thing is, you can't do anything about the shootings except to prepare yourself and to be prepared for that. Because even if you get rid of every single gun in the world, even police officers don't have guns. I mean, look at the UK. There are still people that have knives that will go and, kill people.
China happened,
And it's just going to get worse.
Well, they said the
There
murder
will
rate in
always-
London with knives was more than New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they get in the subway and then just start going to town.
But the thing is, there are always going to be bad people, or people that just are led the wrong way throughout their life. Whatever has happened to them before that has caused them to think a certain way and to react a certain way, that they're going to be a threat to other people.
I think people are too comfortable in their little bubbles. It's like, I used to ask people, like, what point in history has there ever not been crime
Yeah.
and murder
Yeah.
and violence? Like, when do you remember that ever happened?
I think
Not
it's about
existing.
going towards a better utopia.
Well, that's the idea.
This is
That's
the
why
way-
they call them so
yeah.
progressive. The whole
This
idea.
is the way we reform our system.
Yeah, they could.
is
That's
through this.
progressive. They call it. It's the whole
But
idea
every
behind
time,
being
every time
progressive.
I hear that, I always think about like animes and TV shows where like the king was brought up through bad time. King becomes an amazing person.
Yeah.
Peacetime, his son's a total bitch, and somehow And it's true though.
Yeah.
There's very rare shows where the son is like, I'm a good person.
Right.
You never heard that theory about the cycle
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
of humanity?
Because of that,
Where a great generation,
Yeah.
like the World War II generation, okay, they grow up, they're put in horrible circumstances, they have poverty, the
Well,
Great Depression, World
that's
War
what I'm
II.
explaining. So like the king raises the son in peacetime better than what he wanted, but because of that, he's weak or he's closed-minded because he's not experienced.
He gave him peace and
the trauma.
prosperity and all that.
Right.
And so because of that, now his son
He's
raises.
got character weaknesses.
Well, yeah, destroys the kingdom for being what he is,
Yeah.
and then the cycle continues. Someone else comes along and raised like the king was originally and takes over. And it's not. It might not be that generation. It could be a couple generations later, but it still happens.
Right.
We've seen it here. I mean, we had
I mean, the fall of Rome was
had
pretty similar to that.
World War II in Vietnam, not very far away from each other. Right after that, we get what? Hippie generation.
Yep.
Who, sex, drugs, rock and roll, peace, love. I'm not saying we didn't get some good stuff out of that. There's a lot of good things came out, a lot of good music and stuff. But a lot of bad came out of it too. And then
Woodstock.
we then we followed that generation.
Wow.
We had
Had to.
the two towers.
You're not gonna get any of the the over 40 listeners now. Way to go.
Right. Yeah.
no over
Everyone
40.
just turned it off.
Be surprised. That should be like our main demographic. We don't even know that.
Oh, Woodstock, huh?
You know, like Woodstock. Well, actually, I don't know. Like I said, I got family members that are in that age they're at, and they're like, yeah, they were that was a bunch of bitches. You know? I mean, that's family members. I'm not saying they are, but
Didn't Jimi Hendrix perform during Woodstock?
Oh yeah.
I would like
yeah.
to see that.
that's what I said. We had a lot of good stuff came out. There were some good musicians and all kinds of stuff that came out of it, but there was some bad too. There was a lot of
There's a lot of Charles
progressive
Manson.
ideas that came out of it, and I'm not saying all of them.
Well, no, some of it led to 9/11 though.
But
The ideas that came from that. The whole love, not war. Also, like,
the passive, yeah.
and how like they wanted open. At that time, they weren't saying open borders, but they wanted us open to accept people.
It's one of the
Yeah.
biggest things that people argue about is the whole. Is it better to be passive and peaceful, or to constantly have that sense of just like the deterrent system we have. I mean, everybody's got nukes, so nobody uses a nuke.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I think we were in between for a while, where we were letting people in by our choice and stuff like that, and we were doing what we could. And now they're like, no, we need it all the way or no way.
Well, we also had a tight leash on it too. We were very strict about it, and we looked into those things very hard. Just because you came here, if you came from a country that was suspected, you were looked at very hard for
Right,
a long
yeah.
time. Which I don't think that was a problem with that. I mean, most of those people knew that when they came here. But now, like, you could literally be doing something horrible, get caught for it, and they'll be like, yeah, but you only looked at me because you're a racist. And they're like, oh shit, drop the case, everybody stop what you're doing. He's calling us, calling us out for this. We better stop.
The
what
whole
he's doing.
department's gonna be racist if we don't drop this.
Well, that was I refer back to South Park because I think
That was a awesome episode, by the way.
Which one?
The gun one?
No, not even that one.
Oh, I saw that one. I
That was
recently saw
hilarious.
it.
That was great too. But and I say South Park. I reference South Park a lot in this podcast because of the fact that I think South Park does a phenomenal job, better than Family Guy.
Of taking the
Simpsons.
political temperature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, even before it gets to that level, sometimes
Yeah,
like
they,
PC
they
culture.
Really, they see the stuff way before. it
PC
happened.
Principle came out before all that shit hit the fan.
That was funny too, because I said that too.
But
I was like,
that episode where they when they call the cops and they go, "Hello, oh, what's the problem? A black man's breaking in. Oh, he's black. There's nothing we can do for you. Sorry." And it's like, "What? I'm about to get killed." Yeah, but we just got in trouble early. Our hands are tied.
It's just too bad.
Yep.
Oh no. Well, if you need anything at all, you just call us.
No,
I
not
need
even.
an ambulance. I'm dying. Oh no, that's too bad.
And so, and the gun one was good too, though.
yeah, the deterrent thing. Now it made some funny things about it too, because they were like,
Right? Yeah, it's South Park.
how are we gonna get guns? How are we gonna get guns?
Oh,
okay, now we all got guns.
All right. Well, now
How are us 6-year-olds gonna get guns 2 seconds later? Wow, this was really easy.
Yeah, but a lot of that comes into.
Damn.
That was horrible.
Hey man, the trash
There was
can is all the way
that-
filled
there
up.
was no way that was going in.
All the way filled. Leave me
fine.
alone.
dude.
Yeah. Now, as far as like what to do about
How do you feel-
about shootings and all that,
How do you feel
it's
about
a
red
social
flag
thing.
laws?
Red flag laws.
Do you know anything about that?
Now that would be something like like a mental patient or something like that.
No.
No,
What?
it's where your neighbor can call in. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to say it like that. I'm being unbiased if I say it
Okay,
like
so the
that.
basis of the original red flag law was literally you could raise a red flag on somebody if you suspected there was a reason that they shouldn't be allowed to have a gun at the moment. If you were like, say, a husband and a wife,
Yeah.
you're fighting, your husband makes some threats, he's drinking or something. They wanted it to be so like you could call the police and be like, look, my husband's drinking, he's made some threats, he's got guns in the house, he's acting crazy, blah blah blah. They could take that, present it as evidence to a judge. Judge can order a red flag order on you. They can come and take your guns, not maybe arrest you,
That should
but
happen.
they can temporarily. But
There's
I
downfalls
believe
to that.
in that.
but
But I believe that you have to have evidence that certain things were happening
Well,
and
here's the
progressing
thing.
to that point.
But there's kind of already something like that now. The issue is getting it to that level, to getting it to a judge to show the evidence.
Right.
Now, what they're stating is you're basically, and this has happened before where, not necessarily the neighbor, but someone called.
there was a situation with a neighbor, an old man.
Or
That
was
did
it?
happen.
So they called the cops and said, "Look, he shouldn't have the guns." And so what ended up happening was the cops were coming in to break in the house, but they heard knocking. In. It was nighttime too. It was like middle of the night.
Yeah.
Dude hears something, grabs his guns, and goes to check it out.
Yeah. I don't think it should happen
They
like that.
well,
He attempted to defend himself.
his
As he should.
and his
Because that's people that he doesn't
his
know
daughter.
coming onto his
Well,
property
not
in the
only
middle
did
of
he
the night.
die, his wife got killed, and his daughter got hurt
Yeah, that's
because he didn't know who they were,
Yeah, exactly.
but at the same time they were still within their rights. And cops died too in that too, and they were just trying to do their job.
Right.
It was bad. And that's the
yeah,
downfall
that
of
was
it.
that was
Another
poorly
thing
set
is
up. Incredibly poorly.
another thing is if you and your neighbor get in a disagreement, he can call the cops and get your guns taken.
Now
That's the thing because you said evidence, but
right, but I have to actually be like making a threat or something like
then
that.
how would you show? How I show proof that you just physically? I mean,
Yeah, I'm about
verbally
to say,
threatened me.
proof of that.
At
if you
this
come-
point, dude, we all have phones that can
Right,
that
but
can
let's say we're
record
just
audio
talking.
and video.
Correct, but let's say we're just talking. We both get in a heated argument.
You can pull that out at any moment.
Correct, but would you?
Yeah, but would you keep saying?
Because
Yeah.
me personally, if
No,
Because
no.
I-
I'm saying if you whipped out your phone and started recording, you think I'm going to keep saying the things
That
that
too.
I know could get me flagged? I'll be
But
like,
the
why are you
issue
filming
is-
me? I just want to be your friend.
another issue is if you're in a heated argument with somebody
Right.
and it didn't start as a heated argument, it could have just started as a discussion. I'm looking at you too because I haven't looked over here. Sorry, Joseph. You're not really gonna think
No,
about
no,
your
no,
phone
no.
sometimes.
That's not the right name.
Oh,
That's not
Oh.
that's not his name.
Shit.
See, you guys
Wow.
don't even know. You're not even staying on top of it.
damn.
What was it?
I don't know, something
I
terrible.
was all about these nugs. What you talking about?
Chicky hentai, something like that.
Yeah.
Chicky hentai.
So,
Alright. I'm sorry, chicky
but
hentai.
because the thing is, you don't just jump. A lot of people just don't jump into an argument. It usually starts with a conversation that leads to an argument, and by that time, you're not thinking about your phone. You're thinking about who's right and wrong. And say me and you are doing that, and I can just say, "I'm gonna fucking kill you,"
Okay, here's my problem with it.
but I have no evidence. You have no evidence. I said that.
I got this podcast, boy.
So my problem with it isn't even that much. It's still that puts it back in the hands of the government to decide when to take your gun.
Right.
You're still putting it back in the system that the
That
the
would
ones that we have guns for, the tyrant, tyranny.
Yeah.
You're putting it back into
Now-
lawmakers'
well,
hands.
that
Yeah.
tyranny, Lannister.
So
Yeah.
maybe the right call is for
Well,
you to have the right to have a gun to defend yourself.
And
against
I'm
that
not,
kind of
and
thing.
I'm not even saying.
I brought this up to him.
What?
Oh, you want to finish that? I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna just put it out. I'm not saying there's no system that couldn't be put into play that could help with these situations. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's more complicated than people want to make it out. They're like, oh, we could have common sense gun laws. What is a common sense gun law?
Well,
Right.
here's the
Have
issue.
you looked at the
But
majority of people
Here's the issue I have,
that
and this
claim to
happens.
have common sense?
This happens on both sides. It's someone comes up with what they think is a solution, and it gets shot down. But at the same time, it gets shot down. It's like, no, that's fucking dumb. Well, what you came up with?
Right.
No, I'm not the one coming up with the solution. Let's have communication here.
Yeah.
Like scientists communicate to further along. If we treat this like a science equation or whatever you want to call it, we need to work together.
If we were,
Not just for guns, but for everything.
if we were treating this
Yes,
like
but
a
if we were doing it by
science
scientific
equation.
theory, by the scientific principle and theory, then reviewing by your peers, that is part of that. And a peer shooting down your point is part of that.
Yeah, but not like, but we're not. It's shooting down, and we're not going back to the books or the drawing boards.
No, I'm saying you shouldn't. Like, but if somebody comes up with a good reason why, hey, that idea, I like where you're going, but it
But
has
it's not
holes.
that. It's not
It's
that.
fundamentally
it's never that
flawed,
though.
yeah.
But it's never that.
No,
It's
Yeah.
never that.
it's something more opinion based.
Well, it's there's fear to it, and why? Because things have happened. I mean,
Correct.
Waco. I mean, anybody remember Waco? Okay, people got killed by who? The government. I mean, so there's fears to it because the whole point is we have guns for a reason.
So
we're there to protect ourselves.
But
But
we-
I'm a big component of when more people have guns, when more people are educated about them.
well, that's where I'm going.
I'm a big fan of deterrence and
Yeah.
people taking action. We don't have people
we talked
taking
about this
action.
earlier about that town, and I
Yeah.
can't remember the name of it. That the whole town got guns. They were
Yeah.
given out to them basically.
And I bet everyone is incredibly nice to everyone
It's
else.
a very
in that
safe
town.
town.
Well, it goes back to the South Park episode where it's like, Eric, go to bed.
What country?
Yeah.
No, Mom, I don't want to go to bed.
You're going to bed right now.
No, before that, he pulls the gun out first. and
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
he's like, I'm not going to bed. Eric, get in the fucking bed. Mom, where'd you get the gun? It don't matter, get in the bed. All right, I'm going, Mom. I love you. I love you too,
I
honey.
love
Have a
you
good
too.
night.
Guns are
Wow,
amazing.
these things are amazing. The crime in that town, the crime rate dropped drastically
I would imagine.
because whatever happened.
If
to
you
someone's
know
mom.
everybody's got a gun,
which
how likely are you to commit a crime?
and then again, it could flip on the other side. Well, you put tensions could be high,
Yeah,
and that's true.
tensions are always high.
Well, tensions
but-
would be higher. So yeah, tensions would be high at first, but there's also a country. I can't believe I'm forgetting about this. I used to use them as a point all the time. There's a country where you have to go serve in the military at a certain
Israel.
age. You have to serve in. Wait.
Not just
And-
Israel,
And there's,
I'm sure there's other
There's
places.
a
But-
couple.
and-
Yeah.
Korea.
you're gonna get a gun afterward.
And everyone has a rifle
That,
in their home.
I think that is.
I thought
Never
that was
mind.
Israel.
I don't-
I'll have to check.
Is that
on
Israel?
But
Like it's the rifle?
So
Deterrence and
South
training.
Africa, they do it. Elon Musk, he's from South Africa. He left before he had
South
to serve
Africa's
his
got some
term.
crazy shit going
Yeah.
on right
Well,
now.
Korea does it too.
Yeah,
But
Korea's-
deterrence is a hell of a thing, and also, like I said, the education around it and all of it. Now, people like to talk, well, why is America so crazy? I know the answer to that. People want to beat around the bush because they don't want to admit it. We have glorified criminal culture in America.
yeah, it's a social thing. That's
Yes,
that's
we
something I was
have,
wanting
we
to say
have,
earlier.
we have not just. I mean, now you remember? I don't know if y'all wouldn't know this. I mean, years ago, you made movies where heroes were the good guys. The good guys were heroes. Now we make a lot of movies where the bad guy is the hero of the movie. Like they're bad
And they do so
people,
good.
but we glorify them. Exactly, because we make them look cool. We're like, man, but the bad guy's so cool.
Well, you know
kids are
how
growing up hearing that, and I'm not trying to say we
No,
should do that,
but
but I'm saying they're young, impressionable.
how
they
that
take all
happened?
Yeah,
stuff.
it's like, oh, I want to be that.
it started off as a challenge for writers, where because you always had the story where the hero prevails.
Yeah, and
so-
I think that's
and,
awesome.
In the early
Yeah, the anti-hero.
in the early '80s, I mean late '80s, early '90s, I think it was, is when they go, okay, let's try killing the hero and let's see what happens at the end of the story. And there was a
Yeah.
couple movies that did that, and then they went from okay, well, how do we? Because that was a challenge. How are you gonna get someone to like a movie where the hero dies at the end? Because no one's seen that before. And it went from that to okay, how can we make the villain the highlight?
right.
But actually, like they think it's the hero, but he's actually a villain.
well,
and that
how
became
is
the
Venom
challenge.
actually a good guy? You know?
Well, that's how it became. It became a
ate a
challenge
guy.
for a lot of people, and it blew up.
Well, hey, see, like,
And
Hey,
John Wick is amazing.
with Venom, they actually did go the right way. Like, right, he eats that guy at the end of the movie, right? A lot of people, are like, oh my god, he murdered that guy. Like, technically, that guy had a gun in her face. If you had a gun at that moment, you could shoot and kill that guy.
Yeah,
Any person.
100%.
I'm like, he did it a different way. He ate him. I'm like, but that was completely legit. I'm like, he didn't like mass murder everybody in the store.
Look, if we all just get tranquilizers that knock you out instantly, we'll be all right.
But let me go back to, like, just to use as an example, Deadpool. I like the movie Deadpool. It was good. It was well done. And all that. But break it down into, like, what is Deadpool? First of all, he's an assassin.
Yeah, he's a contract
hitman.
killer.
He does drugs constantly, illegal drugs. He's got a pile of illegal guns. He kills a lot of people pretty much indiscriminately. Some of them for lesser minor offenses.
His only rule was he doesn't kill kids, which he actually does
Women
kill
and-
kids.
Yeah, it was supposed to be women and kids, but
He did that in
Originally.
the second comment. though.
originally.
He
it
killed
was-
a woman. He killed a woman in the second comment. didn't
But
he?
anyway, my point is, and then what does everybody look like? Oh man, Deadpool's the coolest. Blah blah blah.
well, I mean, look what they did with Suicide Squad with Joker and Harley. which I hated the.
Don't get started. Don't
Yeah.
bring them up.
Let's not.
But
Let's not.
I'm just bringing up the example that
Yeah,
day.
but-
Everyone was like, "Look, oh my god, I want to be just like." I'm like, "No, you fucking don't."
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Batman comics used to be Harley and Joker. They made Joker cooler now. Back then he used to be the crazy clown guy, and you're like, man, Batman's gonna
Joker
get that
sucks.
crazy clown.
Well,
guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's like, man, Joker's kind of cool.
Well, that's the thing. They turned him to the crazy guy to like the guy in control, and I'm like, he's not in control. That's the point. Of
The
it.
new Joker movie. The new Joker movie. I'm not gonna lie, it glorifies.
Well, that's the whole
craziness.
controversy behind it.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not saying these movies shouldn't be made. I'm just saying
Right.
they're changing the culture around
absolutely.
society. Like we're making it so people are like, I don't want to be a hero.
But that was the thing,
I want to
even-
be the villain.
so
I want to
even
be
in-
this guy. This is cooler.
In the older comics with Joker, for instance, the thing was villains didn't want to like. No one wanted to team up with Joker because they're like, no, we're terrified of him. Like, yeah, we're scared of Batman, but Batman's not going to kill us. Joker will rape my fucking mom in front of me and laugh,
Right.
and then kill me after.
Yeah.
Like they were terrified of Joker because of what Batman would
Yeah,
do.
even being a henchman
Now
for
the
Joker
thing
was
is,
scary.
they go, "Oh no, Joker's terrifying because he's in control. He's the big bad boss."
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not the case.
Well, the fact that all of this is becoming like the highlight socially, as far as like everyone gravitating towards criminality and everything like that, it's all something that falls on society's shoulders. Like whenever you were a kid, your parents wouldn't allow you to watch certain things because they knew that you were
Correct.
impressionable, and they didn't want you picking up on negative things and different kind of lifestyles like that because
Yeah,
they
but
wanted
they
to steer you in the right
But
direction.
they did it. They actually did it back then.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
weren't getting into that theater if it was a rated R movie.
Right.
It wasn't gonna happen.
But
Now
now,
it's
like
like-
we're all dumbed down to it now because we've all
Not-
seen it so much. So
there was a point. Yes.
Like my dad, like,
That's what I said. There
I
was
said,
a
you
point
want
where
to know what
that
my first
changed.
movie was? Scream.
There was a,
Or Scary Movie. I forget which
there
one
was
it
a point where that changed.
like
Yeah, but
four.
even Scream and stuff. I mean, they didn't glorify the killer.
I was 4.
Right.
Yeah, but
it was just like a horror thing.
Yeah, but I'm
like,
not
ooh,
talking about that's a
scary.
horror movie. I mean, I'm talking about
I know.
movies that
I'm just saying.
turned the
That haunted
the
me.
villain into a hero. The bad people.
But even
doing
those
bad
are now.
stuff were
People
heroes.
like that's how twisted society's become. Even like old movies like that, they're like, oh my god, he's so cool.
That's like, I mean, silly little things though. I mean, 21, right? Okay, movie about scamming casinos and stuff using math and blah blah blah. Smart movie. They tried to make them look really cool and all this stuff. Real life, they probably weren't that cool.
Well, you
But
Ultimately, man, there are always consequences to your actions. If
Correct.
you choose to be the cool villain guy, there are going to be consequences.
Yeah, you're gonna have to live that
If you
life.
choose to be the
You're gonna
good
have to
guy,
really live that
but
life.
part of that is they're being taught. That's all police just trying to keep you down. You're
Right.
just you like a lot of criminals are like, man, why y'all gotta fuck with me? I'm
But-
just trying to get my
yeah.
hustle on.
and you still gotta remember.
And it's like, no, dude, I'm trying to stop you from committing crime. Like, you were robbing people.
but this didn't
just my hustle, man. I'm like,
This,
Yeah, no.
this didn't just start either though.
no, it hasn't.
Because-
But criminal culture has
Correct, because
expanded.
you
It
have to
blew
remember
up.
Bonnie and Clyde had a whole fan base while they were alive.
Yes. No. Actually, that's not true. Okay, that's not true.
Uh-oh.
Actually, that was something I just listened to a thing about.
Uh-oh.
They weren't glorified. It was a movie that glorified them. There was a movie. It was an old movie, but it did. It's the one that tried to turn them into this cool. That is not going to end well.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they
gonna
were,
split.
I'm
It's
pretty
gonna
sure
fall
they
on
were
these and stuff.
popular though. That's the thing.
No, not originally.
Hmm.
Now I'll have to look
Oh,
it up
no!
for you. But they had a whole thing about. They had a whole like. I gotta find it for you because they were not considered cool until this came out.
Until you
and
prove
they-
that fact to me, I'm going with this.
I'm
one.
gonna look it up for you. But there was a time where people looked at criminals.
But
in
okay,
the
so
bad
even
light.
but you said an old movie, so even still then.
Yes, I mean it was an old movie, but Bonnie and Clyde were older than that. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
but
there was a
still.
point that somebody tried to turn it into a. And I mean, okay, so you did have the old stuff, Rebel Without a Cause and all, but they weren't really that bad. Okay, I mean they were like, I'm smoking in the boys' room, like so living.
I
on
mean,
the
you
edge.
had the Al Pacino,
But
like,
did
just
Lethal Weapon start it all?
badass-
Yeah,
gangsters.
now that started.
no one
that
said-
was part of it. What?
I said, but did Lethal Weapon start it all?
Lethal Weapon?
Yeah, isn't that what the kids watched before they shot up the?
Is that Columbine?
Talking about,
Yeah.
talking about Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon?
Yeah, I'm about to say I don't
No, the
think
older
that
one? No, what was
glorifies.
it?
No, that's like 1990s,
Yeah, I
right?
don't think-
The
But
first
isn't that
one?
what they said that they watched before they shot up?
I would
the
have to
school?
look that up. I don't remember.
I actually don't know. Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Damn it, am I the only one that's hearing that? Am I high?
Just,
Maybe.
well,
We go in a lot of houses, you know.
I've been on light duty.
I don't think that that's something that that you could say is the blame, Because
No.
if it's not guns, it's going to be bows and arrows. If it's not that, it's going to be knives.
No,
If
I'm
it's
not.
that,
I'm not even saying that. Like,
Right.
I'm not even talking. Like, this is about guns, but it's also about just the whole concept. Like, okay, so there's a lot of inmate advocacy groups. Okay, I mean, there's some people in jail who are lifelong criminals. They have no intention of changing anything. They go into jail and become better criminals.
Yeah.
They exist. I mean, they go to jail and they're just like, man, I'm gonna do a little 3-year Jose, ain't no big deal. You know, they dap off their friends. What up, man? What you been up to? You know, what's poppin'? And then they get out of jail and they're like, they right back in it. No change. And then they got advocacy groups trying to shorten their time.
Right.
And I'm like, you really care more about these criminals than you care about
Just because of what they look like.
innocent people. I'm like,
Just because you can say that you can relate to them on the fact that they're the same race or they're the same gender
well,
or
that's,
whatever.
I had a discussion with somebody recently about how criminal culture has become very prominent. Drugs, hustling, stealing, theft. You know, it's not uncommon for somebody to go, yeah, I stole that. And they're like, oh, that's cool. Like people ain't even shocked by that. They're like, really? That's cool, man. What's that?
We did a good bit of that.
Exactly. And,
That's-
but back in the day, you used to be like, you stole that. Like, you did what? Like, you stole that?
the thing
I
is
got
that
banned from this dude's house because he stole a pizza and I
No.
was associated with it.
no.
Right?
Well,
You grabbed the pizza. I grabbed the PF Chang's.
I had to carry it because your hands were full of PF Chang's.
Yeah, exactly. But
Where
it was
do we go with
it was
this?
that hey,
What kind
you
of pizza
guys
was it?
can't be here
Yeah,
together
Supreme.
because bad things happen when you both
Because
are
you're
together.
criminals.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. No, I got looked down on that too. I'm the one that had to live around them while they thought of me like that.
let it go.
Good. You should hold me to a higher standard because
Well,
I can do better.
anyway, so my point is though, like people who do try to live with a better standard, though, what are they commonly labeled as? You're a nerd. You're square. You're so whatever. You know, whatever. They'll
Yeah.
if you
Live
don't
life on the edge.
participate,
It's cool to live
if you
life
don't
on the edge.
participate in that, then they're like, oh man, that dude, man, fuck that dude. You know.
Yeah.
Like, and that's how it was when I became a cop. I had a bunch of people like talking to me like, I'm like, dude, what the fuck, dude? I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
like,
you're a cop now.
like
Like,
nothing changed. I'm like, yeah, like, hey, you ain't down now, man.
I just care about my community now. I want to protect people.
Like, really?
And that goes back to something that I was saying in one of my other posts that I had made earlier in the week, is that I'm not saying, and nor will I ever say, that there's not a bad cop.
No,
Because
I
there's
knew bad
always
cops.
going to be a bad person, no matter what group you look at. Whether you're looking at political people, whether you're looking at, people that enforce the law, whether you're looking at, people that run a fast food chain, It's all going to be comprised of
Yeah,
you know,
there's
the
always,
people
you're
itself.
not gonna find a place where there's no bad people.
Were you
'Cause
talking
there's-
about Popeyes or Chick-fil-A just now?
both.
I mean, I know cops that were bad cops, but like we're talking about, that culture has changed too, and that's
Yeah.
a sad thing because the bad police officer culture that exists too.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are cops out there who are cops just because it makes it easier to be a criminal. I mean, I'm not gonna call out names because I probably don't know their names, but I mean, there are NOPD cops that they're in there because they can help their family members out while they're a cop. They go like, "Hey man, they gonna raid that neighborhood. You might want to get out of there."
Right.
Like there are cops like that. There
Yeah,
are
so
plenty-
sorry, that was one of the movies they watched.
One of them?
Yep,
I mean, they watched like a list
Do
of
it.
movies.
it was three of them.
Dude, I can't.
They watched. So they
My
watched
Tom
all the
Tom.
Lethal Weapons or something.
No, it was 3 movies that they quote.
What was
right
all the
here.
other movies?
Matrix and something else. I'm trying to look at the other one.
Matrix. Ooh, Matrix.
See, now that's.
And James Bond.
Matrix.
I guess I should clarify something when I'm talking about all this, like how criminal culture has become so normal. Is the school shooting people? I find I put them in a different category because I'm like, those are actual just crazy people. They have no intention of surviving or anything. They're going in there with the intention of doing as much damage as they can and then dying at the end of it. I'm like, so those are crazy people. Crazy people, there's nothing you can do about that. They're fucking crazy. They're not going to work on logic. Like you were saying about the Joker.
No, it's
That's what makes the Joker so dangerous. He doesn't work on logic. You're not going to figure it out. There's no deterrent for that.
Yeah.
But
I think that everyone should have the chance. Like, I'm not saying that if you find out that someone is having these thoughts about shooting up a school, if you could know that ahead of time, I don't think that you should just shoot them right there on the spot. But
So-
once they become a threat to other people actively,
Oh,
So
well, are we talking
Minority
about the red
Report.
flag law?
that's actually what I was about to say. So now we're entering Minority Report. See, that's That's the
That's
tough part.
I think we're going
What-
actually towards that.
Here's my thing. Are you talking about red flag laws? Because here's another issue with that. A lot of times these massacres aren't done by a gun that person owned.
Yeah, stolen.
Right.
I mean, Columbine,
illegal.
wasn't those stolen guns too?
I don't.
I mean,
They
had,
weren't
like-
old enough to own those.
Yeah, that's what I say.
No, I'm
saying they
just talking
stole
about the
it from
person
somebody.
in general. I'm talking about like, I don't know.
So we
If-
should all should have a chip on our arm, and
honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that. That's a very different conversation. But I'm saying whenever it comes down to the individual, a lot of people talk about how we should have like different checks before someone is given a gun or whatever. But if you find out that someone is entertaining these thoughts about like shooting up a school or like doing something like that could hurt people, I think that those people do need help and that they should
I think
they should be put in something like that.
I think to sell a gun, to be a person who sells a gun, I think maybe you should have to attend some classes on maybe spotting things that are irregular. And I do think they should have the ability to say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with this sale. I'm not going to sell you a gun.
Well, that's their right. That's their right.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
a business in
and
America.
we have.
Well, it depends on who it is, because it might not be the owner.
Well,
or
I think they need to be more
association doing it.
comfortable with it. We have so much anti-gun stuff that there's a lot of gun dealers and guys at gun shows that are like, I want every motherfucker in here to have it. They're really gung-ho because they're like, the government's out to get us all. You guys should have a gun. No, calm down, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, not everybody in this room should have a gun. I'm not going
Right,
to tell you
yeah.
that.
No, that's true.
Like, you should kind of assess these people a little bit when you're talking to them. Like, ask them a few questions.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man,
If
how
someone
long
is
you
not,
been shooting?
Hey, man,
yeah,
you
if
love
someone's
shooting
not
shit.
comfortable with having a gun, especially, I don't
How
think
many
they should be
animals did
forced
you
to have a
abuse when
gun.
you were a kid? Only 3? Wow.
Right.
How many cats did you
Hey,
microwave?
you're getting a 9mm.
Hey, I'm looking for a gun. Oh, you ever used one before? No.
Why are you
What
shaking?
you
Okay.
want it for?
Are you twitching?
I like guns. Well, I got one right here for you, buddy.
You want that drum mag? Hold on. This thing holds 400 rounds. Yeah, okay. So, I mean,
For
like,
you, $59.99.
there is some common sense. Like, I'm not saying common sense gun law. I mean, common sense with people. I mean, how many times have you talked to somebody and you're like, yeah, I can definitely see that guy trying to shoot up a school? Like, that was pretty obvious.
There's one next to me now.
Where
Yikes.
That's why I try to be. I try to be friendly.
Red
with
flag.
everybody
I'd
in
like
the
to
room.
report a red flag.
But you just that's fucked up. I thought I was pretty sane.
And if you listen to the first part of this podcast, you know who I'm talking about. Because we said at the beginning. To the next to me was
Chicky hentai.
no, he's too busy with tentacles to be into.
We are relatively close together, and my tentacles are pretty long.
Long tentacles. Long tentacle style.
I get them
I wonder how many people are gonna get this reference.
I don't. What the 2 viewers we have?
I know one of those viewers that's definitely gonna get the reference.
Sounds like me with my Twitch streams. I go on my Twitch streams and I'm like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" And I talk to like I
Empty
have
room.
like hundreds of people
I
watching.
don't ever see you post it on Facebook though.
That's actually something that I was talking about with Joseph recently.
If I see,
he mentioned he
and
might.
I'll let everybody know this now. If I see you streaming live on Facebook, I am sharing that shit.
For sure.
I'm
That's
not.
like with Derek's stuff. Like I
You-
told
you
you,
see me sharing it?
When it pops up, I comment on his shit. I like
I know.
it.
I commented today. I was like, keep grinding, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
I
that
try
today.
watching it a little bit as much as I can. I was at work and then I share it.
Yeah.
Or I share it and then watch a little
I don't
as
know.
much as I can.
Like I said, I'm from that generation that I can't watch somebody else.
It's not even that though.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, it makes
I'm
me
in
want to
the
go play a
same-
game, but I don't want to continue to sit there and
So
watch.
my thing about it is it's not even about that. It's just
I
about
getting it out there, helping supporting.
Yeah, it's just all about the support.
I'm for that. I'm just
It's
saying
political.
it doesn't.
You know.
It
little
doesn't
bit.
make me want to. It doesn't. It's never made
it's
me
not.
want to continue watching.
No, I mean it depends on what it is. I'm like again, I'm kind of just getting into this too. Sorry, off topic.
Wow.
But like Ninja,
That's a lot of chicken nuggets.
Ninja for instance, I always thought Ninja was annoying person who probably wasn't that good, and then I saw some of his earlier shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, this motherfucker's pulling some shots that are outstanding.
He's good.
I don't know where that shit went,
Yeah.
but he's fucking good. He really is good. I gotta say, like he played. I don't play Fortnite
I'm
that
not
often.
saying they're not.
But no, I'm just saying, like,
But if I were watching Ninja play and he was really good, I'd be like, I want to play against him. I don't want to
well,
watch
that was the thing.
him.
I like.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things I liked was like watching a little bit of not him, but another person when I was working at the hotel. I watched Twitch because I couldn't play my game, but I wanted to see gameplay of people who had early access to certain games, or maybe watch something like how they play it.
Yeah, no, I like that. Like I said, I like that aspect of it because if there's a game I'm interested in, I'm like, yeah, but they never show the gameplay.
Right.
How did we start talking about Twitch streams?
I don't know. Stream should be a whole podcast.
We did.
'Cause I mean,
We did.
We did one.
I'm doing another one. Contacting
we did one.
how about we
at
mess
me.
I guess we should come back.
yeah.
Where were we before that?
guns.
Guns.
Yeah, but where were we at about that?
So
So I was talking about some common sense analysis of people, gun shows. And
well,
stuff
we go
like
to
that.
social media because social media also can be a very big cause of the mental health that leads to those guns.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to try to get into the fundamental analysis of New Age psychiatry because
Oh, that shit's
are
tough.
we a country full of crazy people? Yes. I think depression is rampant in our country, and I think a lot of that comes with a lot of people just don't know where the hell they're going or what they're doing in
Yeah.
life.
We're in a weird age where we've done so good for ourselves that we're kind of in this middle space where what do we do?
Have
now?
you ever heard the saying "idle hands are the devil's playground"? Mm-hmm. I didn't understand that, but I'm starting to because I think everything's so easy for us. I think we're actually a little bored.
That's what I'm saying. We've
And I
gotten
think
to
maybe-
a place where we're so well
Well,
off, we can choose to do shit that we normally wouldn't
Yeah,
do.
and,
that's
people are
the
getting
thing.
depressed. I think that we're onto something with that because I think
Well,
that's a big part of
That's
it.
why, like, I always like on Facebook, if I see somebody wanting to do something, I try to help them if I can because I love seeing people try to come up or doing something they want to do because
I love seeing people fail.
I'd rather see that than someone
Yeah, 'cause-
find out somebody didn't make it through the night.
Because I bet
Yeah.
you, if we went and looked at half of these school shooters, like they probably didn't have a lot going on in their life.
No, most of them were bullied or mentally.
Yeah, and I get the bullying thing, and usually a lot of times the bullying thing comes with
As
you
far
just,
as
you just can't
productivity.
you can't find a way to.
Now, and there's
Like
other
with
cases
society.
like this was on the news, which I was thinking as a parent, like, oh, I would have fucked those girls up. About this girl had dreadlocks, and these kids always made fun of her, and they cut her dreadlocks.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Was
I
that,
was-
wait, was that the one with the white girl who had dreadlocks?
No, it was a black girl.
And somebody they made fun of her for having
No,
dreadlocks.
these Caucasian girls did, and they cut her dreadlocks.
Oh, I seen the one where it was the other way. Like
Thank you
it
for
was a
saying
white girl that
Caucasian.
had dreadlocks, and somebody tried to snatch her by her dreadlocks.
No,
I didn't
it
see
was
that
a
one.
group of girls. It was they're like 7 to 8. Okay,
Wow, that's fucked up.
I'm thinking as a parent. of-
7 or 8 year old, like
Maybe
what
9
did
to
you-
10.
What the fuck did you do to your kids to make them?
Well,
like
that's
that?
why. Like, how would you feel? Like that's just.
I don't remember at 7 or 8 like doing anything like being malicious in
I
any
would
kind of way.
screw
I don't
up.
remember anybody being malicious.
But could you
to
imagine someone
anybody.
doing that to LJ? Like, oh, they made fun. They're making fun of
Well, I mean,
his hair, and they just shaved it.
there was somebody I was dating at the time. She told me something about something that happened to her daughter at school. And I mean, dude, I went up there to the fucking. I went up there to the
I would've-
principal. I was like, dude, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing about this? Oh, we can't release him. I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit. I was like, I know who the kid is. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all?
But then-
we
but
have
there's-
rules
that's
doing
the
this,
thing.
protecting them, and I'm like,
And-
wow.
I didn't get the chance to read more on the story, but one of the things I thought about at that time was, well, the first thing was like, if that was my daughter, I'd go fucking crazy. But the second thing is, that poor girl is gonna be hurt somebody. She's gonna need to talk to somebody about that sooner or later.
Probably, yeah.
But what if she can't?
Well, there's also, I mean, I think there's also a lot of parents aren't taking an active enough role in their kid's life, and some of them are taking a too
much of them?
Yeah, too much of an active role. You got the ones where you're neglecting them completely. They're being bullied at school. You're not seeing the signs.
And then
And then you got the ones that are so on top of them that that's the reason they're getting bullied.
yes, parents, it's okay to let your kids go out by themselves.
So
what
some
we're
places.
talking about is balance.
Right, yeah.
Universal balance.
Yeah, and then like we're talking about earlier, like with people say the internet. I don't think it's the internet actually causing all
It's
that
the
stuff.
people. It's like
It's first of all, you're constantly scrutinizing everything of your life by other people online because these kids are literally living their entire existence through the internet.
Yeah.
And then 2, they don't have a purpose in life. They have nothing going on. When I was a kid, like every weekend I had some plan. I was trying to build a half pipe. I mean, we built a half pipe in our friend's backyard. I was trying to make a grinding rail, and I was trying to save up to buy a new pair of rollerblades and stuff like that. The grinding ones and stuff.
I was upset because I couldn't play sports. Nobody. Dad wouldn't. He wouldn't go ahead and pay for it. So I was like, dang.
Yeah, that's
So we were going.
Well, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I mean, so these kids. I'm just saying, like, get your kid into sports.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they have to be obsessed with sports. get them doing something at them. Teach them what it's like to be part of a team.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's important. I
Gotta-
played baseball.
You gotta do something, man.
I played baseball, but I'm saying like if they do nothing but come home, sit in their room, watch TV, play on the internet, play video games. Nothing wrong with video games, but there does need to be some what's the word?
Character building opportunities.
Yeah, I mean they have to learn what it's like to be part of society. Like there's a lot of adults nowadays. I mean, how often are you online and you're talking to somebody? Like I've been on Twitter and I fucking hate Twitter. I tried using Twitter and I'm like, you people are just horrible. I'm like, all y'all do is try to fight with each other. But somebody commented back,
pettiness.
oh, this guy wants to tell us something. He only has 6 followers, and I'm like, I have followers? I'm like, I have people following me. I'm like, dude, do you really measure your existence based on your Twitter
Yeah.
followers?
Yeah.
It's like how sad I am for you. But I don't know. I wonder if kids. I can't imagine because I'm too old for that. But I mean, I wonder if kids actually do like, oh my god, mom, I only have this many likes on this photo.
Oh no, 100%.
It's
yeah.
gotta be rough, dude.
Yeah,
How old are y'all?
that
How old are
all
y'all?
plays a role.
I'm a young kid, man. I'm only 23.
You are too, huh?
24.
A little bit older. How do y'all feel about all that? Like the way social media is now.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but
Do y'all
again,
feel
that's
I mean, do y'all feel the pressure though from social media?
well, yeah, because it's kind of like texting, right? Like it's always easier to like text someone about a difficult situation rather than seeing them in person and talking about
Yes,
it.
because you leave the emotion out though.
Yeah, but
That's the hard part.
It's
People
like,
don't want to put the emotion out there.
Yeah, but it's kind of viewed through the same lens. So like you can say things online, and
Yes,
can
the
still-
accountability isn't there. That's
Right,
I've talked
right.
to somebody about that because I'm like, there's a lot of people that talk shit online, and I'm like, you wouldn't say a fraction of this stuff if they were in the room with you.
right.
I'm like, you're talking out your ass online, and I'm like, if I say something to you online, I would have said it to you in person too. Like I would have more than happy than to say it to you in person
think
because I'm not going to insult anybody randomly either. Though.
I'm grateful that I didn't come up right now, like 2000 and on, 2005, whatever, when it was just all internet and social interactions, you know, because honestly, how would I function in a world where I have to base my importance off of followers? Honestly,
I wouldn't even
I'm
call it
highly
social
critical.
interaction.
I'm just that would destroy me. So these kids that are wanting attention and not getting it, you know, that does something to your psyche for sure.
As far as social media goes, I can't view it as like social interaction because to me, social interaction is like, you know, going and talking to people,
not.
like
I've
seeing
actually-
people
that
in
was my theory
person
about
and
it,
like
like-
going group to group, like that
Like you
is
shouldn't
social
call
interaction
it.
to me.
Yeah, you shouldn't call it social.
But whenever you're
social
on
networking.
like, you know, something like Facebook or Twitter, you're just scrolling through and it's literally just the same as you walking through a crowd and like peeking in and listening to what this person says and then walking over here seeing what they say. You're just seeing what people have said.
You know what's really funny? It's funny when like I see young people making fun of the way old people use the internet and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, they're actually using it the right way. Like
That
they're
is
talking to
hilarious,
family and
though.
friends
That's
that they haven't
freaking
seen in a long
hilarious,
time.
though.
They're actually showing pictures of their family members, like their kids and grandkids
Right.
to each other. They're arranging meetups with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's also people. I'm in a couple of groups for like hobby crafts, like making stuff out of wood and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do that. And everybody in there is like really supportive. Like they're all like, "Nah, dude, you're doing good. You know, you just work on your game with this. You know."
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool, but I'm like, and then these young people, I'm like, dude, all y'all do is try to fucking tear each other down.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then the worst part is y'all pretend like y'all are all anti-bullying. I'm like, y'all do
Right.
nothing but bullying each other. I'm like, then what was it? Somebody was saying there was a video of I think he was Hispanic. He may have been black, but either way, he was doing a social experiment. He's not a Trump voter. He put on a MAGA hat and tried walking around with it. I mean, not even doing anything really, just walking around
Yeah.
and like seeing how it is to live that way and stuff like that, to be that. And like, dude, people physically assaulted him,
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
and he was
Man,
like
people
amazed
get
by it.
so wrapped up in that kind of stuff. People
And
get
I-
so like
Yeah,
personally
I'm like, y'all are
offended.
so anti-bullying. I'm like, y'all are literally bullying a person. You don't know nothing about them personally.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you teach your kids not to bully others, but you
Yeah,
see
but,
this guy
hey,
with the...
you should bully these people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
but if he's
MAGA
got the
hat
Make
or,
America
you know,
Great
whatever.
Again hat, let's tell him
But
something.
here's the thing. I don't necessarily agree with someone wearing something like that. I mean, they can do whatever they want. You can. I'm not going to because it's the same reason why I won't open carry.
Because honestly,
I support
the mesh,
open carry,
the mesh
but I'm
on
not
the
going to
back
do
of
it.
I am a big proponent for they when I was young, I was taught a couple of things. There's a few things you don't discuss in public: religion, politics. Those are things you
and
just
how much money you make.
Yeah, that's true. Money.
But for real, yeah.
Financial. You shouldn't discuss those in public. Why? It's rude.
Mm-hmm.
It's rude to flash your money or how little you have of it, because then you put somebody in a position where they feel guilty.
Yeah.
But either way it goes, there were certain things that I was taught.
There's social etiquette.
Yeah, exactly social, and that I'm glad you said exactly the word I was looking for. Social etiquette does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
There
And
usually
if it does, it's some weird distorted version of.
yeah, they come up with some new age version. I mean, you hear it all the time. Well, that's like what was it? Somebody accidentally called a transgender female.
It's ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and they were like, dude, calm down. It's an accident. Yo, you call me dude. I'm like, okay. And they're trying to holler like, no, new social etiquette says you don't do that. I'm like, dude, old social etiquette says you don't freak out like that over it. I'm like, hey, people make mistakes, guy, calm down. It's cool. You want to be called this? I'll call you that. You don't need to have a freak out.
Even so,
on
where
it.
do we go from here now that I made a mistake? How do I rectify that mistake?
Right.
Exactly.
In your eyes.
But in that
Nothing.
case, in that
Nothing.
case,
There's nothing you can do.
In
You
that
have
case,
wronged
it was
me
clear.
and-
In that case, it was clear that person wanted to be mad. That was exactly the situation
Yeah.
they had been waiting their whole life for.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They
Mad
wanted.
when my game freezes up.
They wanted that fight.
Hey, gaming doesn't cause violence lags does.
That's valid.
That used to be a poster on my door.
I don't.
this guy's
I've never
life.
understood.
very
I've never understood people throwing their remotes
Rocket
against the
League.
TVs and stuff.
Dude.
I'm like, why would you?
Okay,
do that?
so I haven't thrown a remote against the TV. I have broken a remote in my hand.
Oh, dude, my roommate does that. My roommate Tyler. He is the nicest guy. Tyler Person.
Tyler Person.
Yeah. But he's one of the nicest people I've ever met. And no, stop.
No, he
No.
doesn't. He doesn't have owl eyes.
No, he's not an
Is
owl.
he a superhero?
Glasses.
No.
He didn't go to high school with us or anything.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's a Tyler I know that.
Anyway,
Streams.
no, I know. You're talking about Tyler Poche?
No.
Oh, okay.
See, you don't know, motherfucker.
Okay, well, anyway.
Bitch, you
Shoot me in the face. Do it.
Anyway.
Not with a
Drop
gun.
last
But like
name.
he's a super nice person. Like he would never yell at another person face to face. Like he's super calm. But he gets on Fortnite, bro, and he screams and he yells and he bangs his controller on the table.
You know what does it for me?
And he breaks his controllers.
You know what does it for me? It's sports. Sports games.
Oh man, dude, that's
Me and my best friend
not
Charlie.
even at all for me.
Me and my best friend
I don't
Charlie used to
care.
play NCAA a lot because that was the fucking bomb.
NCAA was God.
That's where I broke my first controller, and that's where I broke my last controller. I broke 3 controllers on that last game, and I'm like, I need to stop playing it. We'd be in the middle, cause we always played back and forth, winning by field goals or in the last 3 seconds. And the one time I was up by 14, and he came back on me in the last 30 seconds and won. And I'm telling you, he threw a 69-yard touchdown on a fourth and 19. And when I tell you when he caught that, and I went to dive to tackle this guy, he just jumped over my guy immediately. I was like, and it was a war night. It wasn't a brand new controller, but I never felt something crushing my hands like that before. But we all know that feel.
Dude, it's got grease. I told you.
oil.
It's got fucking grease.
I don't know. I've had. I remember when I was a manager at GameStop for a while, and I remember when we would do the opening nights, like the release parties,
The tournaments.
and we would have the tournaments, right? And dude, you've never seen. We had to stop doing them. At first we got a police detail to come there just because how bad it would get,
Yeah.
and then we just had to cancel it altogether. These people would throw down in the middle of GameStop over this, and I'm like, wow. I'm like, dude, the
for the
prize isn't
podcast.
even that great.
Do it for the podcast.
Not until we get video.
Do it for the
not,
pod.
not until we get video.
I ain't gonna do it.
Do it
Have
for the
you
pod.
seen-
I ain't gonna do it.
Have you seen that video of that dude that just eats weird shit and then reacts on the thing? It's
Yeah.
pretty funny. I ain't gonna lie. That dude's pretty funny.
You're talking about the super rich guy that just goes around and
No,
eats
no, no.
McDonald's? Oh.
No, this
Warren
guy, he
Buffett?
drives a Prius or
No.
something. That guy that's sitting in his Prius and he eats something and he's reacting. He's got kind of a country voice.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh,
I
know
thought
who
you were
you're
talking about the guy that looked like Niles Crane.
No.
That's like he like drives around in his car and he's like extremely rich and all he does with his time is just like he goes to like McDonald's and orders something and he does like a food review.
There's a few of those.
on,
That I just don't get. Like
That's
the
the life.
Mr. Monster or
Yeah.
whatever. Is it Mr. Monster?
Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Is that it? I'm like, what the fuck?
The one that just really buff and just yells.
No.
He just makes videos about any and everything.
Apparently, he makes enough money off of these videos that he does really stupid. He bought 1,000 lottery tickets
him, yeah.
and scratch on
Oh,
and they
I
video.
saw that one.
I'm like, really?
I thought you meant the one that just like is really buff and yells.
No, he just does really. He
Yeah.
buys excessive stuff, does
They
really
bought-
stupid
you,
stuff.
you know the little Orbeez that
Yeah, that
expand?
swell
He
up.
filled up his
Yeah.
whole
Pool.
backyard.
Yeah,
backyard,
yeah.
the pool.
There's the conclusion to him is always disappointing.
It is.
And people still do it. And then like he'll do the ones where like he's like hand on a car. It's not really
and
that
I'll
great
give
of a
you
car.
this Lamborghini.
Or the
I've
one,
seen the house one.
and he surrounds himself by like really desperate poor friends
Yeah.
that are really desperate, that are only you can tell like they're only
Really
his friend
fucking
because they really want him to keep peddling money out to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so but it's really sad
It's
actually.
content, yeah. But it's interesting.
I'm like, this is really sad. Like the one where the two of them like really needed a place to live or something like that, so they did like hand on a house.
Yeah, on the side of the house.
Yeah, it was like a rental property.
And he was asking-
Yeah, the
Right.
last person to have their hand on the house
Yeah, and, he
gets
was,
it.
and they're like, so where you from?
Oh
He's
my
like, yeah,
God.
my dad's kicking me out, so like I'm kind of homeless right now.
Yeah, and two
really
of
need
them-
this house.
So two of them like
Yeah, two of them really need, and the other guy's just like, no, I want a place. He's like, I'm renting
He's
right
like,
now.
I thought it'd be cool to have.
I'm like, wow, aren't you an asshole?
Fuck you, guy.
I'd love to win this.
Tough luck.
I don't know. Just that I don't know. That's I was like, this is people are watching this. Like this guy's getting views for this shit.
Yeah, it's odd. Odd times.
Then there's the fake ones. There's the fake videos where they're like, did you see the one where it was supposed to be like the guy everything he put his hand on his girlfriend had to buy for him? I'm like, do y'all really believe that she bought that shit? Like, there's people stupid enough that they believe that.
Well, that's like the my girlfriend threw my PlayStation in the pool.
Yeah, it's like a broken PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
She chucks like a used broken PlayStation into a pool. One of them, they said it was a PS4, and then when you cut away, it was like a PS3. It wasn't even PS4. Like, that's not even the same console.
Okay.
It's
Or the
Xbox
dad
dumbass.
that comes in and breaks it. It's like not even the system that's hooked up to the TV, and
Greatest
he's in there
freak out.
breaking it.
Yeah.
They start the video
God,
20
that dude.
minutes before the boyfriend gets home. They're like, I'm gonna break his PlayStation today. He doesn't know I bought a new
No,
one.
my favorite one is he doesn't know I bought a new one, and then I don't realize that all of his games are on there, and that's
Right.
Save
Yeah.
data. And
How do you transfer data? What is that?
I don't care.
Doesn't matter. You just lost his progress.
I thought it saved to the disc.
I don't
God
know. Like, to
damn it.
me, that stuff has no, like, entertainment.
It's not
value.
writable.
It has no entertainment value to
Well,
me,
okay,
but I'm like,
sorry.
there's people watching
Off
it.
topic. ARs. How do you feel?
I think they're great. I
No, we-
think
we
that
were actually
they're
talking about
useful. I'm not saying that everyone should have an AR walking around town at all times.
Why are you calling it an AR, sir?
What?
He was trying to trick you. There's no such. There is a thing as such
Armalite rifle. I know.
Yeah.
I get it.
There's,
You just didn't like
It's
that.
an
Caught you.
AR platform.
well,
Armalite rifle platform.
So no,
I know.
So no, you got to say it right. There is a such thing as an AR. We do consider them ARs. The term assault rifle is the term that's wrong. There is no such thing as an assault rifle. There is an AR platform and an AR style weapon, but it's not, it doesn't mean assault rifle.
No, well, yeah, I'm not. No, AR does not mean assault rifle. There is such a thing as an assault rifle.
What's an assault rifle?
I mean, I would imagine one of the an actually fully automatic.
Assault's a verb. It's
Yeah,
not a
I mean,
noun.
if you're wanting to
It's not even an adjective.
use it.
No,
in
my point is you
assault.
can't. Anything.
Anyway,
This is an assault barbecue sauce.
Semantics.
Exactly.
Shoot, it could be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the action I took with it. That didn't make it an assault barbecue sauce. It was just
Yeah.
barbecue sauce
Yeah.
that I assaulted you
An
with.
assault spoon.
Is my M1 Grand an assault rifle or is it a rifle?
Depends on how
Did
you
you
use it,
see
I guess.
that one when they were talking about like nobody should have all these guns? They should have something like this. And,
Yeah.
And somebody
it
was
an M1 Grand.
yeah, and he's like, that's like the most deadly weapon in history that has seen more combat time and deaths than any weapon
like
in
no
history.
rifle has
and it's
killed
bolt
more
action.
people.
I don't know. Hiroshima was pretty bad.
Well, I said gun. Like,
We consider what you want. It went bang.
well, bang, or did it go
It de-
boom?
So was the plane the gun then?
What?
because they released it.
That's that. Here, have you ever like read some of the stuff about that? I mean, they dropped flyers warning them, "We're gonna drop a bomb here. Y'all should all leave." And the government was like, "Don't listen to them."
Yeah.
First of
We'll
all,
protect you.
question: was it in English because they didn't have subs
No,
at the time?
no, it was in Japanese.
I have no idea what we're talking about.
Hiroshima, World War II.
Hiroshima.
Right.
They warned the general public that look, this is a war zone.
Yeah, well, they told them like, "We're gonna drop
The
a bomb
US
right
is
here.
gonna drop a
Clear this
bomb."
area," because they just wanted to make a show. Like, look, we can do this. Like, y'all should stop. Y'all should stop fighting. So they warned them like, y'all vacate this area because we're about to drop a big bomb here. And the government was like, nah, don't listen to them. They're exaggerating. So a lot of people died. Because I've had some people argue with me about that. They're like, how fucked up were we that we mass murdered all these people? I'm like, well, we tried not to. We really tried not to mass murder them all.
Listen, lady, none of it would have happened if it wasn't for Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, not to mention the number of people that probably would have died if we didn't do that. Like, it would have probably actually been worse. It does suck that they were innocent civilians. That does suck.
I'm sure they're doing much better than us at this point, honestly.
Well, the older, I've heard that the older Japanese people aren't really fans of America, but the younger people love us.
They aren't fans of dolphins.
Can you blame
Really?
them?
South Park is wasted on you. Them stupid dolphins! Why do you hate dolphins so much? They dropped a bomb on us!
Oh, wow.
You remember that?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, like America blamed the dolphins. So like,
That's why they
they killed.
they-
Yeah, and so Stan like went on a whole quest and like became on the deadliest catch to stop the
stop the
Japanese
dolphins?
from killing dolphins. And so they're like, at the end they're like, we're gonna tell you the truth. Cows bombed y'all, and so they start killing cows. And Stan's dad's like, good job. Now they're killing us like we are. They're massacring cows. It's so bad.
I didn't see that one.
It's a
I
good
didn't see
episode.
that. I gotta go back and watch that.
Like it's to the point where like they attack SeaWorld and everyone's just like, oh okay, and the kids are like, what is going on? It's like, listen, we're gonna let you in on a secret. They don't know that we bombed them.
So, like when we're talking about ARs, like honestly, I'm of the mindset that every home should have one. Every home should have an AR. Why? Because it is the modern weapon for combat. And people are like, well, you don't need a combat weapon. Yeah, that's actually one of the deterrents of America. Not
Yeah,
just,
that's
not
why
just-
I don't need a combat
Well,
weapon,
not
because I
just-
have a combat weapon.
My whole
not
thing
just,
was-
not just the
You know, they talk about Japan don't have weapons or China. And it's like yeah, but also when one of their leaders
Japan doesn't
died.
have an army.
Well, when
We are
when
Japan's
one of their
army.
leaders died, they were forced out in the streets and forced to say good things about their dead leader that they hated, because if not, kapow, and they had no way to defend themselves.
Well, I mean, there's things that nobody wants to talk about or realize. It's like every mass killing of like people's own people was like taking guns like came before it. It's like taking away their guns like almost always follows a mass murder of the people of a society. It happened
It's
with
systematic.
China.
You,
It happened.
you gotta disarm the population before you sweep in and
yeah, to gain control.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
Well, that's the
or you fatten them up.
when you're having the talk with people about guns and stuff like that, and then they go to the, well, why do you need a gun? The police and the government, military will protect. I'm like, wow, you didn't even come equipped for this conversation. I'm like you actually believe that? Like,
The patriarchy's going to protect you. Oh,
I thought we hated the patriarchy. Now we want them to protect us?
I thought you
I
hated
don't-
the police and the.
Well, that's the thing.
yeah, like, what the hell?
That's the craziest thing to me. Is like usually the first thing that's gonna people who say that are the first people to call.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, wow.
It's funny. Well, it's funny that they're the ones that call, and then when you show up and you ask them questions, I ain't talking. I'm like, what the fuck you mean you ain't talking? You called us. I'm like,
It's people that just sit on the fence. Like they don't want to be hurt, but then they also don't want to help police.
Takashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
Chi-Chi hentai.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
What was that old saying about like when the only
knows what
thing
your girl
necessary
wants
for
to
evil
eat.
to flourish is good men to do nothing? Like that's one of those things too. It's like people they're like I don't want to have to carry a gun and actually try to stop somebody.
He knows who stole the
And
cookie
you don't
from the
have
cookie
to.
jar.
What?
Takashi 69. He knows who stole the cookie from the cookie jar.
Snitch.
he knows who let the dogs out. Who let the dog?
We can do a whole podcast of these.
Yeah, we could.
We could. It's blowing up. It's been blowing up.
Until he dies, and then
There's only one person who
And then it's going to be another meme talking about,
Hillary Clinton.
Have you guys seen Between
seen
Two
that one,
Ferns?
right?
Have you guys
the
Between Two
documentary.
Ferns?
Have you seen
The
the
movie
documentary?
one or the actual?
I mean, I've watched both. but
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie yet. She watched the movie
the movie is funny.
Between
as
Two
hell.
Ferns, and
Is that Galifianakis?
yeah,
He's literally between two ferns.
he.
Oh yeah, it's so funny.
Well, I've seen like the one with Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Like the actor, when he's like, so everyone thinks you're a prick. I agree.
Yeah.
And Justin Bieber's like, what?
And he just
He's
goes
like,
on.
dude, you're a bitch. He's like, dude, I thought I was here for an interview. He's like, shut up, I'm the one asking questions. He's like,
I usually love Will Ferrell when he was in there,
Yeah.
but he really pissed me off.
Really?
He kept making fat jokes, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Will Ferrell made fat jokes?
I know. That's what I'm like. What?
Will Ferrell is fat. That's kind of his thing. That he's this out of shape guy that always jokes like he's in shape.
Well, it just kind of pissed me off.
His
He's
interviews
really
with
one of my
Obama and
favorite
Hillary, A1.
well, when he did Justin Bieber, like at the end, he's like, most people think you need a
Did
spanking.
you see the
I do agree.
Sherlock and Watson?
He takes out the bill. He's like, dude, if you
Sherlock
hit me
and
with that, he's
Watson
like,
with Will Ferrell?
ka-cha! I was like, damn.
It really wasn't that good. It was pretty disappointing, actually.
What?
Between
Sherlock
Two
and
Ferns.
Watson,
Watch
I
it.
Oh, really? I
I've
wanted
seen
to
it.
see that.
was not impressed. I didn't I don't remember ever laughing.
I'm so nervous that they keep talking about making a Step Brothers too. I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe
those are
not.
those
Yeah,
are
maybe
those are
don't
all
do
things that should only have.
Like
have
Talladega
to watch.
Nights and all that. Like
Yeah, like a Tropic Thunder 2, could you imagine?
Robbie Downey Jr. wouldn't survive.
I don't think sequels to comedies works very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's never as funny the second time.
Oh, was there one in particular? I think there was maybe one. I do agree with that for the most part. Like Hot Tub Time Machine, I liked the movie. The second one was god awful.
I didn't even watch it.
I thought-
God awful. I fell
wasn't
asleep
Wasn't
during
it
it.
them just trying to reproduce the first one?
Kind of.
Grown Ups 2 is
Yeah,
also
that was-
terrible.
21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street, they're like
My
literally do
They-
the same exact
well,
thing.
They had a few
you
funny
did
parts in
before.
that.
It was funny at the end when they
No, I'm
rolled
not
the
saying there's not
credits.
funny parts. That's what I'm saying. It's just never. It's not going to be the level
whole,
of the first one.
I fucked,
Yeah.
you fucked the captain's dog. That was dying. That was clever. Huh? Not clever, but
You can do it once, it's funny. You keep trying to do the same formula, man.
what was it? That was
Played out.
I mean, the Hangover was one of the big ones about that.
Hangover
like,
3 was
trying
kind of like
to-
a recovery from 2,
trying to reproduce it.
but I'm
constantly.
glad it stopped there.
I don't know. I can't think of any comedy movie where like
It's gonna come to me after we close this
better.
podcast.
Oh, you know, they got Super Troopers too. I still haven't tried it out yet. I don't know. Seen the first one? No?
Yeah, I've seen the first
Yeah,
one.
I've seen 'em. I
Second
love the
I'm
first
not-
one.
Yeah, good stuff. I'm not gonna try the second one probably, unless you guys watch it and let me know it's good.
I don't know. I can't. I've tried. I'm racking my brain here. I can't think of a comedy where the second one. was-
Friday After Next.
Oh shit! Okay,
Dude,
you got
no.
me with that series. I'm going for all of them, dude.
No.
I'm sorry. They're
No. Friday. The original Friday is.
I'm not saying funnier.
That's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is you're never gonna find one that's either equal or surpasses the first one.
Friday
It's
After
always
Next, I
gonna
don't
be
know.
a level down. It's
Friday
always
After
gonna take
Next,
a hit.
I don't know. That was pretty good. Huh? I'm gonna think of one.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one for me because Mike Epps was bomb.
Was.
I'm not saying they're not decent
Well,
movies.
I like that. Was.
I'm not saying they're not even funny. I'm just saying they're not the original. They're not even equal to the
The
original.
Lion King 1.5.
Shit.
The fucking-
Comedy.
That
No, we saying comedies.
I'm just saying, as far as
Scary
like,
Movie 2.
as far as sequels
Scary
go,
Movie 3.
There are
Lion
movies
King
that
1.5
exist.
is great.
I'm not saying that because there are movies
it
that
doesn't
exist.
cover up the original.
Take my strong hand.
Dude, I tell you about I could tell you about the
Yeah.
customer I had like that, dude.
Yeah, we're not gonna speak about that on the podcast.
Oh, we're.
I was trying to describe it. I was trying to think of how to describe it. And I'm like, a fucking scary movie. And he's like, what do you mean scary movie? Take the strong hand. He's like, oh. I'm not trying to make fun of her. I'm not at all. But I was trying to describe it. I was like, because she was, I don't know. I've never seen somebody be so capable with it. Like it didn't work, but she was
born
working
with
it
it.
somehow.
Don't say
That's
with
what-
it. Don't say it.
I know, like
It didn't
me feel weird.
her arm didn't function. So I mean,
Right? Yeah. No. That's not.
she probably says the same thing.
She's like,
Yeah.
fuck this thing. If I could set it down, I would.
Well, that was like you've seen the people that are like they may have like damaged their legs or something like that, and then they purposely they're like, no, I want you to cut it off so I can get those cool prosthetics.
Yeah. No, that'd be
I'm
me.
like, what?
That'd be me 100. Yeah. If I couldn't use my shit, I'd be like, can you cut this off and put something like super cool?
Well, they had some people who had like functioning legs, and they were like, "I want you to amputate me right here so I can get the what are the little springy ones, the little springy running legs." Yeah, we're getting to that. This all ties to it somehow.
We'll
In
figure
some
it out.
way.
Total recall.
We are very random.
I know we are.
If you've ever played that game, Invisible War. No, not Invisible War. Shit. Maybe it is.
There's a game called Invisible War.
I'm trying. What's the Human Evolution game?
Oh,
Deus Ex. That's what it is.
Oh, Deus Ex.
Oh,
Yeah,
Deus
yeah,
Ex, okay.
yeah. That game, I feel like that will happen eventually. As far as technology goes, I feel like people would be more than happy to get rid of their,
Look into the
you
CEO
know,
of
normal
Google
arms
and look what he wants
and
to
get
do.
upgraded arms,
This is
get upgraded
no joke.
appendages.
When I was younger,
100%.
that was my goal. I wanted to go become a medical doctor. Then I wanted to take robotics and cybernetics and stuff like that. I wanted to learn about that because I wanted to try to work in the combination field of those, trying to merge, those two things. Like they already are working on like the cybernetic eye and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're
getting to the point
That
where
exists.
Black Mirror is
this is
coming.
normalized. It will be, yeah.
We make DNA for the guns. So when
they have that fingerprint gun, but it was such an
there's a
epic
movie.
fail.
There was a movie like that.
Yep.
Or anime. One of the two.
They
Sounds
even
like
tried the
anime.
one
I
for
think
police
that was an
officers
anime.
where it had the
Where
little
it's
pin thing
like
on it, so if someone
DNA
pulled it
based,
and it took the
and
pin
only
off,
they
like
can use their
the gun
weapons.
wouldn't function
I can't
anymore.
remember what that was.
Like it was like tethered to them. So if you tried to take the gun away, it would
Yeah.
the tether would pull something out of the gun, and the gun wouldn't function anymore. That was what they wanted to do for police officers for a while. Because that used to be one of the things they used to tell us all the time. Like
That'd
if
be
you go to a
interesting.
situation and there's no gun, they're like, are you like relaxed? Because there's no gun. They're like, well, yeah, there's no gun. They're like, yes, there is. Your gun's there. And they're like, how long do you think it takes for somebody to get your gun?
Right.
Like you start wrestling, you can't just shoot him. He's not armed.
Right.
But now he's got your gun. Now you're fighting for it. Now you're fighting for your life. So that was one of the things they used to tell us. But when it comes to ARs, I do think every house should have them. Why? Just because the military has it. It's the standard weapon.
Right.
It's the standard.
It is the standard, period.
Exactly. It is the number one, and it's the least killing one too. Because everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's killed something." No, it hasn't. It's the least. it is the least used in murder. We are talking about guns.
I don't listen.
So it is the least used in murder, and it is the standard for military. So then, yeah, we should have one. Just not even just for tyranny, but also like
Oh, you're saying
Foreign
we should have
invader.
military-grade weapons?
Chicky Hentai
Yes.
thinks that there should be cat girls who
Yeah.
protect us with
Hey,
guns.
You should go watch the
I
movie
agree with
Cats.
that, but only within reason.
Let's
Like,
talk-
there's no reason that I need an RPG.
let's talk Revolutionary War. Okay,
Bayonets.
were you allowed to have a cannon?
Yes.
As a citizen, I don't know. I wasn't
Yes.
alive during the. I don't know these
Yes,
things.
you were.
I'm just saying. Yeah,
Okay.
a citizen can have a cannon.
Mhm.
It's perfectly acceptable.
I mean, technically you could now.
No, you can't. That's
Someone
illegal.
made one.
No, you can't. It's illegal.
As long as it
Shit,
falls
that's
apart.
even worse than an actual
As long as
cannon.
it falls apart after, who knows?
Yeah, it's actually illegal. There was a guy who tried to modify one. He got in trouble for
Yeah.
it. He took one that was decommissioned. They pour concrete in it, and he tried to fix it. Got in trouble for it.
Can't
Got a lot of trouble for it.
can't own a bazooka. Can't own a rocket launcher.
Can own a flamethrower.
No,
It's
it's,
not a
not a
flamethrower.
flamethrower.
It's not a flamethrower.
It's really not a flamethrower.
It's written
uses,
on there.
Yeah, a
This is
flamethrower
not
actually uses like a
That's the name
gel.
of it.
A real flamethrower uses like a gel that when it hits you, it's
Sticks.
sticking to
Yeah,
you. You're
yeah.
gonna burn. It's gonna be horrible.
We don't even use those in war because it's unethical.
I was
Sell that to the trench
I don't know.
gun.
World at War was pretty dominant about that.
Have you
Well, that was then.
have you ever
we
read-
didn't have the Geneva effect.
have you ever read some of the stuff in the Geneva Convention?
No, I haven't. It's
pretty funny.
Not extensively.
You know, we actually experimented with using bats.
Yeah.
It's not a joke.
way.
Assault
And they're-
bats.
The
and
ones
that's
that,
part of the Geneva
the one that
Convention.
catch fire and then like you run in them.
No, these they would carry explosives, and
That too.
as long as they were moving, it didn't blow up.
Yeah.
But they're bats, so what they would do is they would drop them, activate the explosives. They would fly into an area, and what do bats do? They'd look for dark covered
Did you
areas
ever
like
see,
bridges and stuff. They would go into there, and when they stopped moving, the devices would explode.
Yeah.
And they were saying, so the Geneva Convention says you can't do that because it's an indiscriminate target. You can't control what
Yeah.
the target is.
You can kill
They said-
innocents.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Marco Polo, the Netflix original?
That was an awesome show.
I know, and they canceled. And
I
they
love
put 'em-
that
They
show.
put them on Iron Fist for some fucking reason. Anyway, one of the scenes they have is where like they have a whole bunch of birds and they light them on fire, and they open up the cages and they go spoiler alert, and they go flying into the village and they're on fire, so they're
Yeah.
hitting everything. trying to get on, trying to put the fire out. The birds are, and it's caused the whole the village to catch on fire. And the army is just standing outside watching. So when they come out, they raid them.
Yeah.
That's actually a war tactic that they use.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty.
That's in that that you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, anything like now they pretty much made a blanket statement. Anything with an indiscriminate target is not.
If
allowed.
you haven't watched it, that's really cool because they do some war tactics that you're like, what? Like when they have a battle, and that night they pick up all the dead bodies and they put them in catapults and they launch them. They launch the dead bodies over. It's pretty intense.
And it spreads disease. It's
Yeah, but can you imagine just like
dysentery.
crying over your husband and then his head just
right.
that's the end.
It's clobbering time.
Well, that was like biological warfare and all that stuff. Like, I'm not saying we should all have every one of these things that they have, but I mean, we do have to have some ability to defend ourselves against tyranny. Because first of all, everybody's like, "Oh, if you had to fight the military, do you think you actually won?" I'm like, first of all, it's not the military I'm gonna be fighting. The military is made up of people like me. Right. I'm like, they're not gonna turn around and point guns at citizens. It's those little private political forces that I'm worried about. They're the ones that you have to worry about.
Now, there's a lot of people that say that, well, you don't need an AR because, why do you need that? That they say that ARs are used in all these mass shootings. You can easily use a semi-automatic pistol to do just as much damage as that.
Well,
then they say, well, you don't have as much ammo in a semi-automatic pistol. You can get any size magazine. I have a 32-round magazine for a pistol.
My whole argument is go on YouTube and watch these motherfuckers switch clips real quick.
Yeah, I mean,
magazine
clips.
And because then
clips are for civvies.
Then if you
Clip
end
is
up
actually for an
getting rid,
M1 there is a
if
clip.
you end up getting rid of
and
ARs,
you push the bullets into the gun, and then it goes bing, and a little clip pops up.
Yeah.
I would say clip.
Well, the point is, it takes 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right, especially if you're trained.
I can reload super fast, and like I said, there are extended mags,
like before
auto feed mags. I can modify a magazine and make a drum that would feed those bullets into it.
If it took me 2 minutes to reload my gun, if you're unarmed, it doesn't really matter to me.
Well, not even that though. But it's like before that magazine hits the ground, you're already firing off bullets.
Yeah. You ever seen? No, we did that one where they were when I was in. Have you seen the guy with the world record for the fastest reload in a revolver?
No, I did not. Is that the one where he had the wheelbarrow?
No. This dude,
Wait,
I will find the video for it.
Rules. Like, what are the rules? Like, can he have a wheelbarrow or
speed load?
A speed loader? Yeah, I was like, what's a wheelbarrow?
I gotta look it up. I think he manually loads.
That's what I'm wondering.
I think he does. I think the was a manual.
I seen the one where the dude like he drops it and
I gotta pull this video.
Like while he has one in the air, it's real cool. He throws it in the air, he unloads the other one, and by the time he flicks it back like this, the other one's already in, and it's like 3 seconds. It's so badass, and he fires them. It's just like da 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 da.
You got too much sound effect.
But the thing is, if you get rid of all the ARs or even the AR style weapons, then that means you also have to get rid of all semi-automatics.
I'm gonna show this video.
Sorry, people.
Just because, well, this just goes to my point about when you were talking about.
Why are you playing this Texas music? I don't know. Yeah, I've seen that.
You seen that?
The hip fire thing.
Oh yeah.
That's an old video.
It is, but that's one of the things they show us because they used to tell people used to say stupid stuff like, "Well, if they got a revolver, you don't have to worry that much. They got a revolver. He's only got 6 shots."
Actually, no, because that one bullet's gonna put you down.
Be wary. I used to tell people, be wary of somebody with a revolver. They're like, "Why?" I'm like, revolvers don't drop shells.
Not even that, but if they got a revolver, they're more than likely got a good shot.
Yeah, a revolver is more accurate.
It's like if you got a cam mounted on the back of your car.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to try and race you from red light to red light. I don't want to be on that YouTube footage.
Exactly. don't get me started on the gun.
I don't want you to burn my 2001 Mustang and make me look stupid.
With the V6.
Yeah.
It was affordable.
But you leased it. You leased it. That's the problem.
It's just fun. I was talking to a bunch of people on Mustangs the other day, and it was just fun because it reminded me of that. They're like, "Why not, man? Come to the dark side, get a Mustang." I'm like, "No, I'm good." I like to be able to carry stuff and people and
afford my life.
I don't want a purse.
Anything? Yeah. No, I get that.
Anything over like a 15 can't.
Yeah. Anything other than
I don't think you're allowed to have your own house at that point. Kind of like a
He's like,
Mercedes or BMW.
That's completely off topic. But it's
So,
just,
Look,
he was
if,
just trying to mess
I
with me.
had, $30,000 pocket change, I'd probably go get me a Mustang GT, whatever the hell. Not just a GT, but I'm gonna go for the Shelby, whatever, just because. Why not? Why not?
Why not get a better car?
Why?
They're
Like what?
better and faster.
What am I
for-
gonna get?
With how much money?
A soap bar?
With how much money?
30,000.
30,000 ain't gonna buy you a Shelby.
No, I mean, but
Like 30,000 will buy you a stock RT Charger.
I mean, if we're doing actual numbers, of course I can pull it up. But for the sake of theory,
30,000. I'm still gonna buy a truck.
So, guys, final thoughts.
Wait, I ain't gonna final thoughts on my butt.
What?
Do any of you own a gun?
Yeah,
What kind of
I
gun?
thought we did that.
I've got a semi-automatic 9mm, and which is just a
Why
handgun.
9?
Just because that's it was my first gun that I got. I didn't really care. Why not a 9?
I just had debates with people about that all the time. The 9mm. People go. So I was waiting for you to say more bullets. I have a lot of people say, "Well,
I'd love to have a 45.
If you go to a gun store, that's the first thing they're gonna tell you. Why you want 45? Give me 9mm.
Everybody wants to throw you on.
I don't care.
I'd rather have 6 shots in you than your 2. Like I'd rather have my 2 count.
Yeah.
Well, just something my range master taught me, and he was a great shot. And something he taught me is like, if you have to go over 3 shots, then you did something wrong anyway. Like you need to practice more.
Yeah.
For the second thing is 9mm. It doesn't put a person down.
Well, that was like my friend. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get the magazine that has like I think he said 18 or 20 or something like that." I'm like,
Yeah.
like dude, if you have to unload,
Extended
if you have to
Glock
unload 20, we got some issues.
Right.
Yeah. Not to mention, like, you unloaded that 20 and 50 Cent's still standing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, 50 Cent's got shot 9 times, guys. I mean,
all up in the.
yeah, like,
So-
all center mass, dude. Like, he got shot all up in the
Yeah.
mid area, and I'm like, he's okay.
Yeah, he's fine.
Don't want that.
Wasn't hollow point though.
I don't know.
I bet he didn't get shot.
I
with hollow
couldn't tell you.
point.
I couldn't tell you what it was.
Listen
Viddy
to
can tell you.
Because that's the funny thing
No, you
about
couldn't.
just like target
Nah,
ammo
you
or just like
probably
rounded tip
Full
is
metal
that
jacket.
or that like it goes in but that muzzle closes up.
Well,
and it
what it
clogs
does
that.
is it doesn't mushroom. The
Right.
mushroom causes more impact. And
That
then there's the
makes
ones that
tears.
then there's the one that's shrapnel. Well, you
Yeah.
have mushrooming, and then you have the ones that turns into shrapnel. They're actually pinned along the edge, so they break apart.
Yeah.
Those tear your insides up. Get into. Did you ever hear the story about the guy who got shot by a 22? A little 22, right? Just a little 22. It's a police officer. He shot the dude up, right? That dude lived. The officer died from the one shot from the 22. He got shot somewhere stupid, like somewhere silly, and he was just kind of, what the fuck happened? And, and then he just started acting like funny. He fell over. The bullet got into an artery or something, went up to his neck and stuff.
Yeah.
And he died. Like a little bitty bullet. And they were like, they didn't know what happened. They were like, there's the wound. Where's the bullet? And they found
it's a magic bullet.
They found it way up in his neck or something.
Now that's also something interesting because I've always I'm somebody that I don't want things to be lethal. Like I want to just protect myself enough to where I can stop a threat, but I don't want to kill
the
someone.
common
That's the
saying
thing.
is, I want to stop the threat.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, why not just shoot for the shoulder or shoot for the leg or something like that, just enough to incapacitate somebody. But that's not a safe bet because some of your biggest arteries are in your shoulders and in your legs.
Well, the concept was always center mass,
Yeah.
to the chest, one of the head. That was depending on the threat.
I'm gonna blow your fucking kneecaps off. Okay?
I thought it was double tap.
Huh?
Double tap.
Always double tap.
And
That's afterward. That's after they're down.
right. Now, whenever we were going through a concealed carry course, that was a point that they had made. If you are in a position where you feel that you have to make that decision to shoot someone,
You've already
you
committed.
you
I'm
need
sorry.
to commit to
I
that.
just
You
had
don't mercy shoot somebody.
No, not even that. I just had the image of after you shot him, he's dead. We're at the funeral. I forgot to double tap. Damn it!
What are you doing? I don't want to come back. No
double
zombies.
tap.
Everyone's screaming. Just wanted to make sure. Just
Double tap, guys. Forgot the rule. Sorry.
God, that's a red flag. You better hope nobody.
We're close.
Right.
All right. No zombies here, guys. We're good. We're good.
He was cremated. I know, but I didn't double tap.
He shot the arm. Ding ding.
Double tap.
Emptied the ashes out. On the
Then do a line of them, whatever left.
Mix him with some gunpowder, make new bullets.
God, why am I-
He is now my ammo. You can do that.
Not only did I rip a fat ass line.
That
of
sounds
this-
like my next movie. Some fucked up guy right there.
turn-
Or girl.
He killed my father, so I turned my father's ashes into bullets.
and I killed them with my father.
After I masturbated.
But I ran out of bullets before he died. Goodbye, father. Anyway.
Okay, so final thoughts.
Wait. I got one more topic.
Oh,
Because
one
it
more
ties to it. Sorry. Because this is a new thing that started coming up. They want to ban body armor, civilian purchasing body armor.
no.
Wait, why?
That's the new thing.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, they're trying to ban civilian purchases of body armor.
But doesn't that defeat the purpose of like Black Lives Matter at that point? And like,
Well, they're
like-
trying to say these people go in buying body armor and AR-15. They're going in like ready.
But the
to
people
do
who
that.
they were fighting against, that makes no sense. To me,
Exactly,
because
that's
most
why
of the
I
people
wanted to
that
bring
do
it up.
They get it from the cartel.
That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Same thing with the guns. Most of the crime.
I have two bulletproof vests that I kept.
and they're gonna buy it back for you, Beto.
Beta's gonna try.
If Beto says so, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Ain't that right, Beto?
That's what Beto says.
Beto just made a fool of himself trying to make a point about guns. Did you see that?
Okay, question. When does he ever sound smart? Or when does he make an actual
No,
point?
I mean, he actually destroyed his own point, and everybody laughed their ass
I
off.
feel like he does that on
He
a
was
daily
at a
basis.
school that had a shooting
Uh-huh.
at it. He tried to use that as his point to, like, oh, this is why nobody should have guns except for government. They're like, government's the one who shot those people here.
I shared that.
Yeah, I know, but I saw that before that, though.
I know, I'm saying, but like,
But I'm just saying, it's stupidity amasses. And I would love to. I've never had a civil conversation with somebody who was anti-gun, like truly anti-gun. They won't do it. They will not have a civil conversation.
because you're part of the patriarchy. You're a white straight male. Why would they talk to you?
It's irrelevant. Like I said, like I've told people before, if you can't have a
So-
civil conversation, then you've removed yourself.
Yeah,
from the
then
conversation.
we're not going to make any progress.
Yeah, then you've removed yourself from it. And
The thing is,
Chicka chicka
I'm
hentai. Explain to
I'm
us.
all
chicka
about
hentai,
progress.
what's up,
But the
chicka
thing
chicka
is,
hentai?
I'm not worried about all the guns being taken away because that's not the logical solution.
it wouldn't matter anyway. I told people before, I can make you
you.
can make a gun out of some basic home
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly, dude. All you need is a shotgun shell and a mousetrap.
I can make that part. Like I can make. It's not hard to make all. My dad and them, they said when they were kids, they would take pipe, like a pipe, right size. Stick
Yeah.
a shotgun shell in it. You can take a rubber band, go, bing.
Yeah, there's a.
It's a boomstick.
That's one of the things they messed up on Burn Notice that they had to take out. Like in the banks, they have a bank episode where like these people break into the bank and now he has to act like he's helping them to really stop them, and he makes a homemade one-shot bullet, and he actually showed us how to make it. And so they had to take it out the episode because they're like, that's fucking dangerous.
Right, yeah.
But it was legit, all he did was the way he did it, like it was kind of like a little spacer he had in between, and he popped it with his hand when he was running, and it caused it to shoot out. And like, you know, it's a scene, but people actually tried it and it worked.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So like,
works.
we gotta
That's what
take
I
that
said.
shit out.
Guns are not that complicated. The whole system behind making a gun, it's not complicated. Not to mention, like, they're like, okay, well, if we stop selling ammunition? I'm like, do you know how many people are in America that load their own ammo? I was looking at doing it recently. It's not hard to do.
Yeah, you know how many customers' houses I go to and they go, hey, you want my sample? I'm like, no.
Yeah, I make buckshot.
It won't kill a man.
Yeah.
I call these John F. Kennedy rounds.
And that's where we are ending this.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
John.
Chicky chicky bang bang kill. Chicky chicky inside.
Thank you, Chicky Chicky
This will be
Hentai.
the last time you hear from Chicky Chicky.
We have been the Divided People. Good night.
Good night.